All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Good evening and welcome to the CAPC regular meeting. Today is May 27th, 2026. And if you would, please turn all pagers and cell phones to silent. Thank you. Okay. Danielle, could we have a roll call, please?
Oh, fantastic, yes. David Avanzino.
Here.
Susan Gruning. Here. Shira Faust.
Here.
Colton Scrivener.
Here.
And Robert
Here.
Schmidt. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any agenda updates that they'd like to add today? Nothing? Okay. Moving on then. We need to approve the minutes from our previous meeting, April 22nd.
Motion to approve the minutes from 4/22nd.
Robert made a motion to approve. Susan seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay. Do we have any public comments this evening? Or is everybody here for funding requests? Do you have a public comment that's separate from funding requests? Come on up. Thank you.
I'm Beverly Blankenship. I'm from Full Faith Ministries, and I came to let you know that y'all did fund us for this year, and I wanted to come back and say thank you, and we appreciate it. And I brought you all some the report for 2026, the highlights of our festival. There's a social media reach and impact that probably means more to you than it does to me. I don't understand all about those, but 125 million combined content views across Facebook and Instagram, that probably means something to you. But there's a lot of those specifics in there. We had a great festival. Attendance was up. Husqvarna came and was one of our sponsors this year. I left y'all some pictures from the newspaper to look at. I didn't see many of y'all out there, but it was a wonderful event, and I had a few T-shirts left over, but a lot of them were large sizes, so I brought some cups too that we had left over. And I just wanted to say thank you, and we appreciate it, and hopefully we'll continue many, many more years. It's already been 21, and this was the first time we had to do it without Dave, and we made it. It wasn't perfect because I messed up a few little things, like the log size and stuff, but other than that, it was really good.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thanks, Beverly. Thank you.
I had heard it was really good.
Me, you.
It didn't make it.
It's maybe.
Some of that post report is sitting at above your folders at your spots. That is the Carving in the Ozarks report.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Ms. Beverly.
Thank you. Was that our only public comment this evening? Okay.
I think so. Mr. Jean, you're not public comments. You're here for funding, correct? Yes, that's it. That's all that I know of.
Thank you. Okay. Ty, how about a financial report to dazzle us all with?
Okay. This is a report for April of 2026. Total bank accounts, $1,380,000. Total liabilities, $45,000. Equity, $1,335,000, for total liabilities and equity of $1,380,000. On the profit and loss, April income was $152,000 with a budget of $187,000. Year-to-date actual $487,000 with a budget of $481,000. Total income for April was $157,000 with a budget of $211,000. Year-to-date actual $535,000 with a budget of $554,000. And if we go down to page 8, we can see the total expenses for April were $188,000 with a budget of $203,000. Year-to-date expenses, $818,000 with a budget of $875,000. Net income for April was negative 30,000. Year-to-date, net income actual is 283,000. We're just we're less than 37,000 less negative than we budgeted so far. And as I said before, those will change as the year goes on because income increases as the year goes on. On the next page is the lodging and food collections by month from 2024 through current March 26. For this year so far, we're at 205,000. Last year, 199,000, and the year before, 189,000. Next page shows that same information for lodging only. So far this year, we're at 168,000 compared to last year of 150,000, and the year before of 166,000. The next slide shows, I think I'm in the wrong order. The food and beverage collections so far this year is 205,000. Last year, 199, and the year before, 189. Does anyone have any questions over any of that?
Okay.
And then the last page of the financial report is the past due page.
You certainly have cleaned up that past due list.
Yes.
Yeah,
It looks good, finally.
It's getting better.
Yeah.
So the 2 months past due, have we talked to them?
Yeah, we're communicating, so yeah.
On the past due, the last one is missing from, did that cleaned up now, or?
That last one had the other two entities, the businesses that
Right.
the same person had. They did make a payment on it and got those two caught up and partially caught up on theirs. But it's not totally, so I left it in that category. They're still 2 months behind,
Okay,
but it's better than it was.
it's better before.
Yes.
And I saw that you mentioned that there was a correction, or like a late collection of a certain amount, and that's not
Yes.
in the balance sheet, right?
That is correct, not for April. It'll be in May, and so it will get caught up.
So, okay.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay, thank you, Ty, for the financial report. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
Oh, motion to accept the financials as presented.
Second?
David made a motion to approve the financials as reported, seconded by Robert. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. And Danielle, you have a little something for us for the tourism director's report with Mike being absent.
Well, yes, I will do my best. He has prepared part of this, or it's displayed on the slide up there. So is this current? This is not current. That is not our slide right now.
No.
That's from March. Okay, I'm going to read what I know that I've got in front of me. So website update, we have some positive uptick from the visiteurekaSprings.com. We are 68,107 users with 83,947 sessions, and that is up. I can't remember, he doesn't have that in front of me, how much of an increase. We were just encouraged because we are gaining traction. People are now spending 3 minutes and 27 seconds viewing minutes average per session on our website. So when we are CTR advertising across Expedia. They are clicking on the banners and going through. Events page seems to be getting a lot of attention. So we're excited to see that uptick. The cities that have increased or that seem to be most prominently represented by the viewers is Kansas City at number 1. Number 2, Oklahoma City. Number 3, Chicago. And here's the surprise, 4 is Little Rock, which is up 75%. Yes. 5th is St. Louis. 6th, Springfield. 7th, Tulsa. 8th, Houston. 9, Fort Worth. And 10, Overland Park, Kansas. So some great regional attention being drawn to visiteurekasprings.com for what we have going on. That's all I've got really to share tonight. We wanted to draw your attention. We've done a lot of information integrity cleanup on the website. We do ask that if we have any stakeholders that can go to their visiteurekasprings.com, type in their property, and make sure that, 1, the photos represent their place, are current, and are viewed well, and 2, that the information is current and updated as well. We would appreciate extra eyes and ears on that. Restaurants as well, please go and check the integrity of the information on visiteurekasprings.com. Upcoming, tomorrow kicks off the Blues Party, and the auditorium is going to be incredibly busy and hopping over the next 3 days. So we have Eric Gales going to be in concert tomorrow in 24 hours. We'll be ready to kick that off. Then on Friday is Allie Venable opening up for Orianthi, and that starts at 7 and 8 o'clock. And then Saturday is the Kate Brothers tribute at 7 p.m. They will be in-house. Earl and Ernie and some of the band is going to help they've put together some of the musician best and friends are putting together a good tribute to honor their heritage and their legacy here in Eureka and Carroll County and in Northwest Arkansas to open up for Dumpsta Funk starting at 8:30. So there's a lot going on down at the park, Basin Park, starting tomorrow afternoon. And then on Saturday will be the Center Street block party added to the mix. And pay attention to, there is thank you Avery for pulling this page up, on visiteurekasprings.com, the Blues Party events page. There is a temporary entertainment district tab or button that you can click on that button, and then it's going to show you where the parameters of the entertainment district is for this specific event. It tells the time frame, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and it does kick off Thursday through Sunday. So that will help communicate stakeholders and community members. If anybody's asking, we have guests in town. That's a great tool to be able to utilize. Visit eurekasprings.com, and then in the search bar, type in Blues Party, and that tab pulls up. Also, it's Mustang weekend, so Thunder on the Mountain is happening simultaneous, so the town will be abuzz, and we are excited. Rain, sleet, snow, or shine, let the guests come. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have no old business that I'm aware of. So moving on to new business, David, would you like to address the commissioner approval on contract?
Yeah, motion to discuss?
Second.
Yeah, I just wanted to, for the past, maybe 2 years, I believe, Danielle, correct me if I'm wrong, I've been the sole signer of contracts for the commission. And when I say that, I mean every musician, every business that may have something to do with the CAPC. And there have been a couple of times here recently where I've had surgery and I've been unable to sign these contracts. And Danielle has been a godsend at getting them signed. But I wanted to see if we could discuss adding a second signer, because I do have another surgery scheduled, and I will be out of contact for at least 30 days. And that would help Danielle in the office get the contract signed, especially coming into springtime or all the music stuff that we have going on and everything. So if somebody else could agree to help me co-sign or sign those, that'd be great.
You're going to be bionic by the time this is all
Right.
done.
I could do that, David.
I'm
Thank you.
happy
Thanks,
to
Colton.
do it as well. I
Yeah.
don't know how many we can have.
I think the reason that we did it, that we buttoned it up and made it one person, is because at one point, every single commissioner could sign the contracts, and things were getting overlooked.
lax.
So we buttoned it up to one person, that person being me. But I think if we had two, we're still going to be just as good.
Okay. Okay, well, then, Colton, do we need to, I assume, make a motion and approve that is what we need to
I'll
do?
make a motion to accept Colton Scrivener as the second, or as a additional signer for contracts for CAPC Commission.
Okay.
Second?
David made a motion to approve Colton Scrivener as a secondary signer on contracts, and Robert seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you, Colton. Okay, and so let's move on forward to funding requests.
Can I have a word real quick?
You'd like to say something, add something to that?
On the funding request, yeah, before we start.
Oh, okay.
All right. We have 15 funding requests tonight. I just looked up all the requests, and I just wanted to remind the commission that we have a budget of $100,000. We have already committed to $29,000. And tonight we're talking about another $60,923 to be approved, which puts us right on the $90,000 of our $100,000 budget. And I just wanted to remind everybody that, if we approve everything the way it is presented, we don't really have a lot of things for the last part of the year to give away. So just, when you make your consideration, just be aware that we might have to cut down on one or another request and to get a little bit more money. I would not really see that we should increase our budget at the end of the year like we had to do last year.
Ty, I have a question. If we, at the next meeting, the next financial one, if we approve something for 26, does it go on 27, does it go on the balance sheet for 27 or this year's?
This year's.
Okay, so if people come in the next meeting, which is in,
Well, we have in November, we have
the next-
the last
August.
one for this year. And everything what we commit then is considered for this year's
Yeah.
budget. So we
Okay.
kind of have to, like I said, so we have 2 more funding request meetings, and we just have to make sure that, we don't overdo it.
Robert.
Unless we wanted to.
Robert, question, or actually for the commission. Didn't we establish a time limit on things that that they had to be submitted by?
Yes, we do.
What was that
60
again?
days.
60 days? Okay, that's what I thought.
Before the event, yeah.
Okay.
It has 60 days before the event happens. It has to be submitted to the CAPC. The problem, it's not submitted to the commission. It's submitted to the CAPC.
Okay.
That's my understanding, at least.
I'm not sure that's a problem as much as it just is the way that it is, but perfect. Okay. So, are we ready to begin with the Fat Tire? Is Matt available? Okay.
He is available.
Let's go to the Fat Tire Festival, please. And they've requested $5,000.
Is he here?
He's on Zoom.
Oh.
I believe we have him.
So Matt
Just-
Hartman.
Yeah, just a sec. We're trying to get him to unmute here.
Or can we go like the email?
I think we'd prefer to do it in the order they're in the book.
I've got it set up too. I've got them in order.
Like you have it on,
I tried to put a copy of the the score sheet and the actual application, and I've put them in order to hopefully, I coupled some of the presenters together and to try to keep a flow going.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe Matt is joining us just with his microphone. I don't think there's any videos, so you guys go ahead.
Yeah, I also have Jim Squires with me, who is also representing the Ozark Foundation. So we're working kind of in tandem on this. So he is here too, and he does have his camera.
There we go.
Hello?
That is Jim Squires, who is helping Matt with this Fat Tire Festival. If you have anything to present, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess we're talking about just the funding for. I was helping Matt with the submission. So basically, the focus will be on driving engagement and awareness of the Fat Tire Festival. We'll be using, various primarily digital, advertising methods, for sure, focusing on social media, where we'll drive promoted Facebook and Instagram, stories and posts and ads, to drive registration of the event. We've got some other things planned as well where, we'll need ability to actually create content for that. So, Matt, just maybe help me here. Am I going through these? And they have this, right?
Yes.
So basically the first area is the digital advertising that I just mentioned. Estimated cost of around $500 for that. Very targeted ads to, audiences that would participate in these types of events. And then the next area will be, in order to really do those ads, you've got to create the assets. And this is where we'll create images and reels and, pull in some previous rider testimonials and things from last year's event. And those assets can also be used on our website as well as in those ads. And so that we're looking at around $1,500 for that. We will also use those assets when we drive registration through email. So we have ability to send this out to previous riders as well as opt-ins across our various channels and websites. So we've got 2,500 or so subscribers. We have about that many previous riders as well. So a really good audience that will drive really good conversion and ultimately attraction to the event. So definitely some high conversion rates there. All of this, by the way, we have ability to measure. So anything that we do, we're going to understand attribution and understand what's working and be able to display that. We also have an opportunity to look at some various publications. Whether they be more outdoor publications like Bike Arkansas or other areas where we can, promote the, Eureka event. So definitely we'll be looking at some opportunities there. And then finally, or I guess we've got two other things, which is really the rider activations. So we have ability to connect with various clubs and regional leaders and influencers that we can really help promote the event through their channels. So the idea would be to have, potentially previous riders or coaches that can, speak to the event and help share and drive kind of further penetration across our channels, in partnership with them. So those would be like social collaborations and things like that. But the plan would be to, either through paid or through discounted registration, get some rider participation and promotion there. And then finally, doing some, more guerrilla tactics, I would call it, with promotion within your physical area, bike shops, coffee shops, breweries, and do some promotion if possible through with you as well as more partners there. So, that's kind of the overarching idea that we have, but all things that are very targeted, all measurable, we would understand attribution and so forth. So, I think we've got a pretty good plan here, that ultimately would drive engagement and ultimately registration and participation in the event. And anything I missed, Matt, please jump in.
Yeah, I guess I should ask, how familiar is everybody with the Fat Tire Festival?
Does anybody have a
question?
Yes?
I actually have two questions for you. One is, we have a rubric and scoring for the different events, and one of them is contribution to charity or philanthropy, and you scored a 30. What charity does your event sponsor once it's all said and done?
We ourselves are a 501c3, so the Ozark Foundation is a nonprofit.
Okay, perfect. My second question is that on your application, you've only listed that the total number of lodging place room nights anticipated is 3.
For the event. They'll be here 3 days, so they're...
Well, normally they'll do like
They estimate
room
the
nights.
number
They'll do
of
like
rooms.
300
Yeah.
or 400.
I think they're saying 3 per attendee.
Are you saying 3 nights per attendee?
Yeah, I thought it was 3 nights per attendee. I could have read that
no worries.
correctly.
That's why I wanted clarification on it. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought
Sure.
there no way could it be 3. So, yeah, good to know.
Well, we may want to update the wording of that or something in some way to
Yeah.
clarify.
We will have at least 10 staff in our getting rooms alone, so definitely more than 3.
Thank you. Good question.
I have another question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so on your expense budget, you list $4,125 for advertising and marketing. When I look at your details, the AMP funding request, I only come up to $3,500, and you're asking for $5,000. So where's the $1,500 going to? You're asking for $5,000, but you only list $3,500 expenses for advertising.
Jim, do you have that in front of you by chance?
No, I mean, it was really, we were at 3,500 is where we landed for it.
Okay, I thought so.
So I would suggest that we adjust your request to $3,500.
Yes.
Okay, that was your intent. Okay.
I make a motion to lower the request to $3,500 for the Fat Tire Festival.
To approve it or just?
We have to adjust it first.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
No?
You can
No, they
just-
said that was
Whatever
their
you want to
intent.
approve it at.
Okay,
I don't think-
then I'll make a motion to approve $3,500 for the Fat Tire Festival.
Second.
Okay, Robert made a motion to approve $3,500 to the Fat Tire Festival. Colton seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. $3,500 to the Fat Tire Festival. Thank you.
Yeah, and great job putting the budget together. It's like
Yeah.
very detailed. It's good.
Great. Thank you for your time, everybody. We look forward to the event.
Thank you
Yep.
much.
Thanks all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Danielle, do we have?
We do.
Okay, so let's move on to the Western District. And Brandon should be joining us via Zoom, I believe.
Dr. Brandon Goldsmith is joining us via Zoom because he is at another CAPC meeting in Fort Smith he just got out of. He is between the two tonight.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Not like going 2 A&P meetings back and back.
We're here for you, Dr. Goldsmith, when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically, we're bringing the Western District play to Eureka on July 19th at the Crescent Hotel. But what the thing is that's unique about this is that the play itself actually promotes the city of Eureka. So the show has been going since April 9th. And as you see, we're playing at multiple locations. And I am hitting all the main attractions in the Fort Smith area. So we're actually marketing directly almost to tourists. So we're doing shows at the Marshall. We have 2 weekends at the Marshall's Museum, 2 weekends at Miss Laura's, 2 weekends at the History Museum, and various other places. And so throughout the course of the play, we're actually sending basically tourists to your direction. And you have been on the back of our program since the beginning of the thing. And so when the cost I have on there is I charge $2,500 for a half-page ad in my program, which I have other sponsors who have paid, and I'm just charging half price for that at the $12.50 rate. And then I've talked to the billboard company in town that I work with, because I actually have a billboard running right now. I'm about to have one running starting next week with the city of Fort Smith, and then I'm going to pay for one for the week before the show out there, and that's the $300 cost on there. If you see there, they're giving me some really, it's a 4 billboard. If you go to the bullet points, you'll see that it has about a $500,000 audience reach on that billboard. And my audience throughout the course of this outside of Eureka is about over 1,000 people that we'll be reaching. One of the things I didn't know if they were able to play it or not, I basically had one of my actors record one of the final scenes at Logan Roots, who actually helped build the Crescent Hotel. My character at the end of the play, his lines there actually kind of, this is how the show ends every night, is basically him talking about how they leave to start Eureka. And it's really fun to see the audience's reaction every night, because they steal $750,000 from the city of Fort Smith, or $20 million in today's money, and they use that to start your city.
Did you want to go ahead and play that video now?
Yeah, it's a 28-second clip, if we want to play that real quick.
Okay, hang on just a sec.
It's time to start a new adventure. Richard Cairns, Hal Clayton, and some of our friends are creating a new city. This time up in the Ozarks, where there's some healing springs. We're going to start our own railroad and build the fanciest hotel this state has ever seen. What do you say when everything works out? Eureka!
So that's how our play ends every night for the last 2 months, and it runs all the way through July 25th past the show. Our last show is at a beer festival at the History Museum. So as I said, the show continuously promotes y'all for the last 2 months, and then for the next 2 months, we're promoting your city. So that's all I have. If you have any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners? Robert?
On your application, you said your total budget is $1,950, and you're asking $2,000 funding request from the CAPC. That's more than your budget. How do you explain that?
Oh, that's the show budget. That's not my marketing budget. The marketing budget is $27.25. If you want to look at the top line, I have my show budget. That's what cost me to bring the show there. What I'm asking for is the marketing. That's $2,000 out of the marketing budget.
So the 1950, that's that's the marketing budget part?
No, the 1950 is the show to do my show. So in total, add those two numbers together, and that's how much I will be spending to come to Eureka.
So he's spending $1950 to put on the show that's in Eureka. specifically. Is that right, Brandon?
Yeah, because I have my the cost of my cast, I have the cost of the hotel rooms and feeding them. And then I have my marketing budget that I'm going to be spending the money on that you are giving me on the, that buys the ad space on that. And then I'll use that to pay for the billboard, and then all the other various aspects that we use for the design work, and then basically all my flower run teams and stuff.
For the marketing funds you're using, is that just to promote the show in Eureka or to promote the show?
Yeah,
elsewhere?
no, that's just Eureka. My marketing budget, I have a marketing budget for that's ongoing for each show.
Right.
Because like this weekend, I'm at the Fort Smith History Museum, so we've been at the parade. I've been at the Fort Smith Rodeo. We have radio ads running for it. So each show is kind of contained in its own kind of marketing.
Brandon, one question for you. Do you, are the profits from this show, do they go right back into your organization? Is that organization a nonprofit? Are you a 501c3?
Yes, the River Valley Film Society is a nonprofit, and we actually work with y'all. We're bringing the Cates Brothers movie on Saturday to the Blues Festival. We've been working with the auditorium, so we also brought another movie there during the music festival in January. And so the River Valley Film Society is a nonprofit.
Okay, thank you.
But actually, these shows don't make any money. So after I pay my cast and everything, it's usually my sponsorships kind of help me float that.
Yeah, I think given that it's a show about Eureka that's showing a lot of other places and you're only asking marketing funds for here, I think that's a good deal, in my opinion. I would make a motion to approve the $2,000 requested.
Second.
Second. Okay, Colton made a motion to approve $2,000 for the Western District, seconded by David Alfonzino. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Brandon.
Just make sure that next time you apply before the 60-day time limit, you were right at that day.
Yeah, well, I actually sent the first draft last week when it's the 19th. So.
You were right at 60 days.
I know. So I appreciate y'all very much, and I look forward to continuing to promote your town. And just so you know, I've been coming into town for the last 3 weeks. I'm writing the next play about them actually starting Eureka, and I'm going to be running that next year. So I look forward to working with y'all on that.
Cool. Thank you, Dr. Goldsmith. Have a good evening.
Have a great
Enjoy
one.
your next meeting.
All right, take care.
Okay. Next, we have the Christmas Parade. Ends tour. And Devin. Welcome, Devin.
So the Christmas parade and the classic car is being presented by Chamber, so
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
we can take care of those together.
So we got 3 all in one, is that what you're saying, or 2?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 2 funding requests. One's for the Classic Car Show and Shine. The second is for 3 holiday events in one: the Christmas Parade, the Home Decorating Contest, and the Tour of Ends. So it's just 2 separate funding requests, though. So the one that's coming up most soon is the Classic Car Show and Shine, which will be September 18th and 19th. The purpose is it's designed to attract regional visitors and increase overnight tourism during the event weekend. This event supports local businesses by driving foot traffic to downtown, increasing hotel occupancy, and enhancing Eureka Springs' reputation as a unique destination for specialty events. So we've got a really good template down for this event now. We did not get marketing funding last year. We were kind of working out some kinks to see how we wanted to run it. We got a good template down where it's a Friday night dinner, and then Saturday we have the parade, and while the fellas sit for a few hours lined up for the parade, we invite the public out to come out to check out the cars, and then we have some sunset cruises that they can opt to take in the afternoons.
Devin, is the car show being, how do I ask this question? Is there a host organization or hotel for this event?
There is not, but we would be open to doing that.
It's best that you don't, because I think we would all be more apt to give funding if it's not going straight to one location.
Absolutely, and so we typically don't have host hotels, for these events just because of that.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Devin, the question I have from my guest, are you going to have like awards? Because no. I can tell you, like, I have a group of about 7 couples, and they were very disappointed, and they were actually considering not to come this year because you didn't do awards. And they hesitated to reserve again, but they're coming.
So, the awards have been discussed several times between us and between a lot of the classic car owners. So we're in touch with some of the clubs that have been coming out for a long time, and I'd be happy to talk to that club as well. And what we found is that most of them, the majority of them, they're really looking for the camaraderie. They want to come to Eureka Springs in particular. They want to come hang out with each other, see the cool classic cars. The awards adds a whole other entire layer to the event that makes it extremely difficult for our small staff to pull off. I can bring it back up to my board, if we can do some kind of small award ceremony or something, because, we've obviously done those in the past, and they're doable. Maybe we can have a second option where you can opt into those, to judging if you want to, and see where it goes. I'd be happy to bring that back up.
Well, I guess the main thing is if you don't do awards, make sure that you communicate that properly, that what's the intention of the car show, so that way they're not disappointed. Well, one of the gals, her truck won, so I guess she was disappointed that she couldn't take another prize home last year. So.
Sure. Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up, because, it's definitely something to think about and talk about. We did make sure that we mentioned that last year, that it wasn't an official judge show. We actually kind of phrased it as the show is the road, because what we really wanted them to do also, and what we're going to encourage them to do again this year, is in the evening, Robert, they used to kind of run the Van Buren Strip, and people could bring their lawn chairs out and sit out front and watch them. We're really trying to encourage them to do those more, to do that again. And so we're going to, have promote an evening kind of drag cruise, because that's great for the guests. Some people come to town during Classic Car Weekend just to see the classic cars. They don't have one, or they're not in a show. They just want to come that weekend for the enhanced atmosphere.
Do you know how many cars you normally have?
So last year we had 100 cars, and we expect to have more this year, because we didn't really have a marketing budget last year at all. And so now that we've kind of ran this template that we've got now, and it worked out really well, then we're going to put some marketing funding behind it.
Well, I asked that because you only have 100 room nights on here, which seems low for the number of people you would expect to come. I would say if you have 100 cars, you're going to have at least a minimum of 100 room nights.
Yeah. We did a lot of marketing over in the corridor and in Fayetteville areas, and at Sunday car events, and so it was really difficult for me to determine how many of them stayed, because but we're going to really promote them registering early so we can get those addresses from them.
And you said you have a dinner the night before?
Yeah, so what we did was it's the crowd. We do a buffet. We go to the Passion Play. We invite everybody to the Passion Play, and they come over there, and we have a Friday night dinner, and then and then Saturday we're at Pine Mountain Village.
I have a question for the commissioners real quick. If you look at the score sheet, the discrepancy between the estimated CIPC funds generated from that event versus the funding request is pretty wide. And I was thinking about, and last year we didn't have a request for the funds. If we consider the funding request to reduce it to $2,500.
So, if I may,
Yes.
if that happens, I think what first comes to my mind is that what I'll probably pull first is Fun Guide and Eureka Magazine ads, and any newspaper ads that we may consider running right near for the parade, right near that weekend or on that weekend, and so that would be my solution if the amount were lowered.
But you're trying to draw people outside of Eureka Springs in, correct?
Absolutely.
So,
Yep, and so, we typically, we may put an ad in the newspaper about the parade, but we'd usually pay for that ourselves just because it would be more of just letting the locals know. But the Fun Guide and Eureka Magazine, that's a pretty big chunk of what's in that funding request.
To me, it just seems like it's a lot of money to be asking for this car show. It's the maximum amount that we can give. And I guess my question is, moving forward with this car show, will the chamber take any of this expense on?
If it works out well, I think we'll be able to now because it's not a very expensive show to put on. Back when it was, awards and we had to have, lots of other things, that it was certainly more expensive, and we kind of broke even on it. We did it more as just a community service. It's the longest running car show in the Ozarks. People have come to expect it. So, we kind of ran it at break even for quite some time. But I think with this template we've got now, there's an opportunity for us to make some money.
And so any profit of what you get, does that go back into the chamber's budget?
It would go back into the chamber's budget, and it would be used to continue to fund events in Eureka Springs. And we're a nonprofit, we're a nonprofit as well. We're a C6, but we're still a nonprofit. So that's kind of that's what we would do, okay. And hopefully be able to put some of that money toward the marketing budget ourselves, for the 2027 show.
Susan?
So being new to CAPC, have we funded this in the past?
We have in 2024, looks like, and we didn't do in 2025.
Okay.
Right.
Good shape.
So I think we're trying to grow it, and because it is the longest running car show, people do come in to see it. And I think for us to really build on what we have, I feel it's a little stagnant, and to try to get ahead. Next year we can revisit when they present what their profit is. And Devin has said that they could absorb some of that profit into helping to fund this for next year. It's not cheap to go out and advertise. I have no problem with the $5,000 personally, and I motion that we provide the $5,000 to the chamber for this.
Does anyone have any other questions, or does somebody want to second that?
My point is it's a great event, don't get me wrong, but it's considering, if you compare it to other events, it's a relatively small event. And since our budget is tight, I kind of like to keep our money back. Sorry for that, Devin, nothing personal in any way, but that we kind of have to make sure that we don't spend a lot of money for a relatively small event versus other events where it's more important that we really, open the bank. So,
Okay, so Susan made a motion. We only speak in the positive, but would anybody like to second that motion?
she didn't make a motion yet.
She did.
I did.
She did make a motion.
Can I ask a question? Or
You may ask a question.
So looking at I'm just looking at your budget here. So the print advertising for 1,700, are those for the local, like the Eureka Mag or the
Yeah.
Guide or?
That's the Fun Guide and Eureka Magazine.
Yes, Susan?
So Devin, is your goal to reach further out and to try to draw more in, or to saturate markets you're already in so that it's more visible?
So there's a couple different ideas there. You know, one is that we had some really great success with marketing to Little Rock for the Chocolate Lovers Festival. So I really wanted to put some marketing into Little Rock because those people stayed.
And what was the cost for that? Do you remember?
I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
But there was a cost,
For
Little Rock advertising?
Yeah, for sure. That the CAPC, you know, we had a grant from CAPC to do so, and we had one of the best chocolate lovers markets, you know, we've had in a long time. Big success for the town. Lots of people stayed, and so it's kind of like with you know, with the chocolate market, you know, I can market and kind of bring, you know, the people that I did last year with what we've got. But, you know, with having a little more money, it does allow me to get people from further away. You know, our markets that we're already hitting, you know, ads do well in those markets anyways, you know, so but I would like to be able to reach out to some markets that aren't necessarily saturated with car show stuff. I want to get more people, you know, to come stay here as opposed to come for the day. You know.
Which we need. I have another question. So when Robert asked about awards, and you said you talked to some of the clubs,
yeah.
So some of these clubs advertise within their club network as well?
They do.
Okay, so that helps. How many, do you know about how many clubs are involved?
I don't. I would have to look. I know that I market to about 68 of them.
Oh, wow.
In our region. You know, there's not a ton of people. It's kind of a specialty thing to own, you know, but lots of people love them. And so, you know, whereas I'm not just trying to get people to come register for the car show necessarily. I mean, yes, I want that. That's wonderful. But I'm also trying to get the people who love classic cars, that are into classic cars, maybe have been to Eureka, maybe haven't. They're like, man, okay, well, I think this is the weekend. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, totally get it. And that would be a good
Yeah,
weekend.
because we see, you know, if we've got 100 cars, you know, that'll typically mean 200 people, but the public comes out, and that's the majority of the crowd, is the public coming out to view the cars. It's not the cars and the car owners themselves. It's our visitors that are coming out to visit or to see.
David?
So Devin, is the event over 2 days, or is it like a one-day event?
So it's Friday night and Saturday.
So, okay, so we have a potential for Friday night stays in all of our hotels.
Correct.
Maybe Saturday, we just don't know. With that being said, I don't think Sue had a second on her 5,000.
Not yet, no.
I'd like to go and make a motion to approve 3,500 for this event.
I second that.
Yeah.
David made a motion to approve $3,500 to the Classic Car Show, and seconded by Robert. Is that right, Robert?
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you guys so much.
Opposed, say nay.
Sorry.
No, you're just fine, David.
And one last thing I do want to mention, you know, the classic car people, they do like highway hotels and motels, which is wonderful because we've got kind of a struggling industry up there, and so it gives them a shot in the arm too, which is great.
Thank you.
Yep. You guys ready for me to move on?
When you're ready.
Okay. So this, the next funding request is for our holiday events that the chamber produces. Of course, they position Eureka Springs as a premier holiday destination in the region while also encouraging local participation in business activity. The events that we are seeking funding for, which we're involved in a lot more than these, but these are the ones that seem to draw a crowd and have great interest. So the Christmas Parade of Lights, of course, that's a big one, a long-standing tradition. At the Holiday Home Decorating Contest, which will be on its 4th year, and that has been growing, and that's great. It gives gets the community involved, but also gives us something to market for all of December and even through January, and tell people to come see the lights while they're in town. Our Christmas at the Inns tour, that's a newer signature event that we started last year, and that went really well. People loved it, and so we are going to do that one again. I can say that since I did have a marketing report from last year's Christmas events, we were able to reach over 2.2 million people on Facebook through marketing, thanks to the CAPC's grant. So we did reach a lot of people during that time. And I think it's important to note that when we're doing these Christmas events, we're really doing more than just promoting Christmas events. We're letting people know that Eureka's open. We're open all year long. We're open in the December month. We're open in the January month. And so this is just another way to keep us going all year long.
Any questions?
I think this is great. I think we need to promote Eureka during December even more. So I'd make a motion to approve the $5,000 for this application.
Colton made a motion to approve $5,000 for the Christmas Parade Decorating Contest and Inns Tour, seconded by Susan. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. $5,000 is approved.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Devin. Okay, next up we have Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. Hillberry first, is that what we said?
It's the same presenters, so those are coupled together. Hillberry.
Okay.
We've been promoting Eureka Springs pretty heavy for a long time, running shuttles to the town. We're really what we want to do is we want to just try to continue to increase our growth. We've been growing every single year. We spend about $750,000 on this event, probably close to $19,000 to $20,000 on advertising alone, trying to drive traffic to the area. We have, it's a 5-day event. We typically, our 4-day ticket sales last year were 80% of the people who came to the event were there for 4 days or more. So they come and they stay for quite a while. The demographic is getting older. We see more and more chairs out there. So I know that we're getting a little bit older crowd. That's not a bunch of youngins anymore. I'd say our demographic's probably running between 30 and 60, somewhere in there. With that, I want to have Chris kind of talk about some of the impact that we've had.
Yeah. Thank you, and good evening, commissioners. As John was saying, we're here in consideration of a $5,000 tourism and advertising investment to support our promotional efforts for Hillberry and our continued partnership with Eureka Springs, or really kind of the initiation of one. As John stated, it's our 11th year putting on these events. This year it's 5 days and nights, October 7th through 11th. But Hillberry's more than just a music festival. It's really a tourism engine that brings thousands of visitors from outside of our region into Eureka Springs and Carroll County. Each year we draw about 4,000 attendees from across the country. 30% of those are from out of state. Many travel for hundreds of miles and stay for multiple days. Unlike one-day events, festival attendees often arrive early and stay after the event, creating a ripple effect throughout the local economy. Our attendees, they spend money on everything from hotels, cabins, campgrounds, restaurants, coffee shops, bars and nightlife, groceries, supplies, gas stations, boutique galleries, and locally owned shops, as well as attractions and outdoor recreation. So with Eureka Springs, it's known as nationally as an arts community with independent spirit, music culture, and locally owned businesses. And I'd say our attendees fit that profile exceptionally well, as they actively seek live music, art and culture, outdoor experiences, restaurants, etc. So in many ways, it's exactly the type of tourism Eureka Springs works to attract. So a $5,000 investment from the A&P Commission is not simply support for a festival, it supports this tourism marketing that creates measurable economic activity throughout the city. Even conservative estimates would suggest a significant return. If you take 4,000 attendees, spending only $50 in spending over the course of those 5 days, we're looking at over $200,000 in economic activity, with the realistic picture being far greater than that. And I did want to highlight, as John stated, we run shuttles from our event to downtown of Eureka during all 5 days of the event as well. So we're actively bringing people into the downtown area to shop, to spend money, and enjoy what the city has to offer. Like I said, in return for the advertising spend, we'll continue to highlight Eureka Springs in our festival advertising communications, and continue encouraging attendees to explore the city and promote local businesses. Our goal is not simply to host an event nearby, but it's to strengthen the connection between Hillberry and Eureka Springs and make that an essential part of the experience.
We talked a lot about, you guys have been asking about the charities. We have a lot of charitable causes that go along with it. We have an organization called Conscious Alliance, and what we do is it's a food drive. They basically, attendees can bring cans of food in. They get a free poster. I typically have a truckload of food that I deliver to the Flint Street every single year. They're used to it. They expect it. So we also have a new organization called Positive Legacy. And what they do is they have basically a charity. They get a bunch of instruments and autographed memorabilia, and then they sell that. And then they'll take the proceeds and they'll donate that to Turpentine Creek. 25% of all of our alcohol sales go towards Turpentine Creek and have for years as well. So that's where, that's the charities that benefit from it. As far as where does the money go if we make any, it's festivals, you can win big, you can lose big, and it's really our goal every single year is to break even. That's the only way that I'm going to stay alive. We do this for the music. So, at the end of the day, if we make money, then we do upgrades to the farm. And then I throw money on top of that myself from my day job. So, essentially we've got an 18-hole disc golf course. We've got, we just put in a brand new 3 miles of mountain bike trails. We have, all kinds of art installations across the property, 2 permanent stages. We just went and bought 60 new porta potties. We're excited about that one. We're redoing our whole shower and bathhouse right now, adding more showers and toilets. So everything that we do is upgrading the place so we can continue to offer, a better event to our attendees.
David?
So, thank you for bringing up the philanthropic things that you're doing, because that was about to be coming out of my mouth, because you scored a 1 on our rubric for that, which is we all want to see you doing something with the money.
Yes.
Going back into the community.
Absolutely. I've never taken any money from the company. It has always gone directly back into the upgrade of our farm campground.
Well, I'm speaking specifically of your nonprofits that you do.
Yeah, the nonprofits
that you do work for. So thank you for that. My other question, Danielle, I think maybe for you, there's a note on here that it was a non-rev generator in lodging. I'm going to question that because I know it generates income for me. So I'm wondering where this number is coming from.
Well, so that's a thought that Mike had when he was scoring this, and he wanted to make sure that was something that was considered and to perhaps inquire about. He was not sure, so he made that note himself.
Okay, Robert, how about you?
It appears to me as well that that's what they put on their application, was that it was a zeroed generator in lodging. So that's where he got that information from.
That probably would have been my mistake because I don't have any lodging, so I thought it was like, how much are you generating from lodging? And I'm like,
I see.
I'm generating that.
Again, we may need some.
That question is what kind of lodging are you going to bring to us, to our
Okay.
to our
Yeah, I know. I
hotels
mean,
and
I know that we definitely, we fill up hotels. We have to book hotels for our artists, and we have to start, we've already got them booked. We have to do that early because I know that we booked this town up.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked Danielle, because I know it.
That makes
I know
a
I get
difference.
reservations for it. I don't know about Robert or.
I mean, well, for
our
the thing is
scoring, that helps to know what, how much we're bringing in for the city and lodging and.
we're talking about the Bikes with a Barbecue.
No, this is
No,
Hillberry.
we're on
Hillberry.
Hillberry.
Now.
Oh, we got
We're
that
gonna,
first.
yeah, she mentioned that first, but we had needed to address Hillberry first.
Okay.
That will come next, though.
Well, the Hillberry, well, it's the scoring from from Mike. Of course, your festival is clearly a festival which happens outside the city limit. It's actually pretty far away. So we're kind of like not really. It's hard to measure how many people will stay in town and how many won't because of the Hillberry Festival.
I mean, it is, I would just think that, do you guys have any kind of data? I mean, just living here in this town over the past 10 years, I mean, this will be our 11th year doing Hillberry, but I mean, I have to think you guys see some kind of impact in town just being here.
Robert, I can.
Go ahead. No, you're fine.
I can speak as far as like a microcosm of the industry, and that's just my business. We do get hotel reservations from not only artists that are performing, but also people who are attending that don't want to camp out. We definitely see an increase in restaurant and bar business from the Hillberry people. They do like to drink, so thank you.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that's.
I don't know if it helps, but I mean, personally, probably over 30 hotel rooms booked myself.
So I don't think the score sheet is accurate, given the information that we've received. So I don't think that we could go off of what we're looking at.
No, are the restaurants, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. It's okay.
Are the restaurants that are there are food trucks, and are those food trucks from Eureka Springs area that are then collecting taxes as well on their sales for the city of Eureka Springs?
I don't know if they collect for the city of Eureka Springs. I mean, I don't know how that works exactly, but I know that we do have food trucks from Eureka, absolutely. We try to do, as many local folks as possible. I mean, a lot of our bands are from Eureka, a lot of our food is from Eureka, but I know that we pay taxes to the county. The Department of Finance comes in, they collect all of the money from the vendors, but I don't know if that applies to Eureka Springs. I probably think it doesn't.
Oh, no, well, it should if they're from here, so.
I have a question. So do you know, I agree that Hillberry is undeniably good for the town. I mean, speaking from someone who has a lodging and has a retail store, it's a very busy time of year. Do you know how many people camp out of those 4,000? Like, do you have a number on people who camp by chance?
I would say that it's probably about half of them. It's like, again, there's a lot of people who, I mean, they're older, they come in and out. Our gates are open 24 hours a day, so people can come and go as they please. Yep. But I know that there are a lot of people who are definitely coming and going. We are constantly checking cars back in and out.
And then your shuttles, are they once a day, twice a day?
It's whatever they want, so it's like it's on demand.
Is it a free shuttle?
They'll typically make a payment for it, but they're always there. It's on demand, so yeah. It's not free. And we have talked in the past about, I think going back maybe 8 or 9 years ago, we did have the city of Eureka Springs have shuttles, offering shuttles for us. But, then it was just, every year it was always a question, we're outside the city limits, how does funding apply, yes or no? And, and that's, always kind of been the back and forth. And, the last time I had spoke with Mike Mahoney and said that there was, a possibility that they would be willing to, help promote events that are promoting Eureka. And again, that's solely what we do. I mean, it's like I moved here and I built this festival grounds. We've been doing festivals for years before this. We were down in Ozark and in Rogers doing events. And I specifically came here so I could be close to this town because it fits the demographic, as far as who we're throwing events for. Everybody's a little quirky, but it's also, just a really good town for it. We had this nice, unique town that was close by. You just can't really get much closer and do what I'm doing and get by without sound ordinances or anything else. This would probably be the only way that you could even have an event like this out there.
So I say this, this is a good event for sure, and it's, but we also keep in mind that this is an event for profit, which is totally understandable. It has to be for profit. It can't be non-profit. And it's a new application. We never had that before. The request is the first time. I will make a motion to approve the $5,000 for this year, but I can't guarantee you that we'll do it every year.
Second.
Okay. Robert made a motion to approve $5,000 for the Hillberry Festival, seconded by David Avanzino. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
In the future, I think it would be helpful if you can even get an estimate of the number of people, you sell tickets, so you know how many people, buy a ticket at least. And then if you can get an estimate, even a rough estimate on the number of people who can't, that'll give us a very good idea of the number of people who have to stay somewhere for 5 days.
Yeah,
and a lot
absolutely.
of those are going to be staying.
We can provide those numbers in the future. And, again, this is something where, we've operated independently. I've put all my advertising dollars into it. But, now that we are I consider this relationship, we're going to capture those numbers because I want to provide you with more data. I know that we have a good impact. I know that we're doing a lot of good for the community. So at the end of the day, we appreciate that, and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Now-
you have another application.
Now
Now,
the,
Vice Police.
yeah.
Can I make a comment before he starts on this?
Please.
I want to just say this to the commission before they say what they need to say. To me, it feels like sponsoring a campground outside of our operating area is a little
Unusual.
not what we're here for.
Are you talking about the next application?
Yes, which is to fund the campground for Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. I totally agree with what you guys come up with Hillberry. We'll always support it. I personally cannot support having a official campground that is physically outside of the city limits when we are here to bring those dollars into the city limits. That's just what I wanted to say before.
I mean, it's for, I second that with you. This is an event which will draw a lot of people one way or the other. And sorry my wording, but it looks like you're trying to piggyback on this event. And I understand you're the host campground in this area because it's Rogers or it's Eureka Springs. I mean, but I don't see a benefit if we add $5,000 to your advertising budget, that it will change anything on the outcome for us. It's different with the Hillberry. The Hillberry's
Let's give them an opportunity just to present really quickly.
Sure.
And then the way it works is we never vote in the negative.
I was just going to try to save my breath as far as I was concerned. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'd like to definitely, talk about the background on this and, and why we're asking and what the impact is. So, essentially, the way this originally started is, Fayetteville basically said, we don't want Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue anymore, right? Sure. And that's when Tommy Sizemore came to me, says, hey, will you become the official campground? We need a big place where, we've got to bring bikes in. It can't be someplace small. They want to bring in, they want it to grow, a place that can handle events. So when they originally came to us, the whole idea was we thought we'd maybe do a little bit more with it. They originally talked like they were going to. And then basically said, we're going to name you the official campground of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. So that's the stamp that we got. But then they just basically said, that's all we're going to give you. Now, what we want in return is we want 25% of your revenue, to give you that name. So, at which point, we decided that, we were going to just do the campground thing. Well, what happened is the bikers started coming in, they wanted more. So, it was originally just, hey, you can camp here, great, and then right off to Eureka. But, they started, wanting to be entertained. So, we started, adding in elements. We added in some bands. We had live music going a couple of nights. Then we went and we got bike games. So they've got, different games that they like to do. I'm personally not a biker, so, I've learned along the way. But, they like to do these bike games and have, some rah-rah stuff going on, throughout the day. So, we essentially started building, to that. Then, from the standpoint, we wanted to continue the growth. We always thought it was kind of weird that they had Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, but there really wasn't a big barbecue or anything that anybody could compete in. So last year we implemented a barbecue competition, with the whole idea behind it is, we want to try to drive that, bring in more music, so we have the blues as well, and basically bring all those components together. And we have been growing each year. It's getting bigger and bigger. The bottom line is that 25% of all the revenue of this event goes directly to charities. So, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue takes their 25%, which is a nonprofit, and then also the 25% of the alcohol sales that we get go to Turpentine Creek as well. So, really, and what's happened is that we haven't made a huge amount of money on this thing. The whole idea is that each year we want to keep reinvesting and growing it. So, that's kind of what we've been trying to do. We haven't had a lot of advertising budget in the past. I feel like, with the stamp of the official campground of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, to me, that seems like kind of a selling point, that you would maybe want to capitalize on. Because, again, the people who are coming here, most of the time when they're at the farm, if they're at the farm, they're riding in Eureka Springs. I mean, it's part of the ride route. They've got the bars in town. What happens is they come in during the day, or they'll come in and they're basically gone during the day. They take off and they're riding. They come back during the evening time, so they've been out riding around all day. We are a close proximity to Eureka Springs. So I do know that, we're also talking with Adam Sandoval about doing shuttles directly to his location so we can have people coming back and forth to go and see the music, do the bike games, and then, from there, we can, they can shuttle on back to Eureka Springs. So, I think there's just definitely a lot of cross-branding opportunities there, that would, that definitely kind of brings us together.
I'd just like to add, this year we're making a substantial increase in what we're doing into the production. So we are making the farm something. We've got a bike show that's coming now in addition to the barbecue competition. We're going to have some mini bike races. What we've been finding is more and more people are coming out our way to check out the farm, to check out Eureka Springs, to see the whole area as a whole. And so we're competing with Rogers. We've been doing roundtables discussions for over a year now with the CAPC included.
Which is a little strange because now those roundtable meetings have moved to Rogers. I'm like, I thought we were trying to promote Eureka Springs. So I'm almost even a little confused sometimes as far as where is do we want to bring more bikes here or do we not?
Yeah. So the point is that we've been working with the city on trying to bring more bikers during Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. How do we make Eureka bigger and better during Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue? And yeah, same as Hillberry, we get a lot of bikers who want to come out and hang out, but they don't want to camp. They go back to their Airbnbs, they go back to their hotels, and that's part of why we've had a shuttle service for the last 5 years that takes them in and out of Eureka Springs to either go back to their hotel rooms, go back to their Airbnb. We are creating an event, a reason for them to stay in Eureka Springs, especially with the cat house disappearing now. We need all the reason we can get for the bikers to want to come out and be out in Eureka Springs and in the general area. So we've been increasing the budget. We're making more music for Wednesday and Thursday nights in addition to the Friday and Saturday. So we're trying to pull these people out of Rogers and bring them to the Eureka area.
Yes, question. So let's say you have, just to keep it simple, like a Facebook or Instagram ad. What exactly would you be promoting? Are you promoting Bikes Blues? Are you promoting the farm? Like, what is it that you would be advertising to people who would be seeing the ad?
We're promoting primarily the farm as a rally point and what's going on, what's happening. The music, the activities, the bike show, the barbecue competition, the mini bike races, the bike games, which is always a big hit. We've traditionally always had bike games. We're adding the bike show and we're adding the mini bike races. And this will be the second year that we're offering the barbecue competition as well. So once again, we're trying to we find we have a lot of traffic coming in through the day, wanting to see what's happening in and out of Eureka Springs. They don't come just to the farm, they get to Eureka as well.
Yeah, we're right along the ride route. So they have the official ride route, we're right off of that. We're right before that, the wooden bridge. Mm-hmm. They love riding over that. So, I mean, we get a lot of traffic that's moving through that area.
To further the answer on that one, if we were to work with the CAPC, we would be happy to promote more heavily. We have, like, we say where we are. We say it's Eureka Springs. I tag Travel Eureka Springs in most of our Facebook posts.
I think you have to, right? I mean, if we approve any funding, then you
Oh,
have
yeah,
to
no,
do
but
it.
we would obviously make it.
The reality is like, I live in a weird place where I get mail and it's addressed Bush, it's addressed Beaver, it's addressed Holiday Island, it's addressed Eureka Springs. So you can put my address down, you can put all 4 of those cities in, and I'll get your mail every single time. So it's just kind of a weird place we're at, but we always promote Eureka Springs. I mean, to us, for us, that's a selling point. Because people like to be close to that. So, that's why we always promote that.
We're also doing sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just was going to say, I think it's just a little confusing. I myself have a lodging business, and for me, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue books a year in advance, and so I don't worry. Like, I know I'm going to fill up, but I'm assuming that other folks are also going to be, whoever runs Bikes, Blues, Barbecue will also be advertising, right? So this at $5,000 that you're requesting is really just to promote the farm. So I guess I'm just a little unsure of how that plays out. If giving you $5,000 for advertising is what we need for the CAPC.
I think we need to continue to promote that Eureka Springs is a place for bikers, especially with, like, the Cat House is a significant damper in expectations in Eureka Springs.
I certainly had some people surprised, but it's trucking on. I mean, they're coming anyway. I haven't had anybody, I don't know about anyone else's experiences, but we still have folks on the books for Bikes Blues,
This will be the first Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue that Cat House hasn't been on.
Sure.
So we don't know what
Well, it's not sure that the Cat House will be closed.
Oh, yeah, we don't know for sure. But
there's multiple people interested in buying that place.
Well,
and I hope it works out.
I don't think any of that is, we can't predict.
So we just want to keep Eureka Springs as a spot for bikers to want to travel to instead of just staying in Rogers. So.
That makes sense.
I just want to say I really appreciate what you guys do for the bike community. I see what you're trying to do. It's difficult for us here because we would be setting a precedent that we are giving funding to a campground that doesn't even collect our tax. And I don't think we've ever done that for anyone outside of the city limits. We'll fund events like Hillberry, other things outside of the city. But I think
carving in the Ozark is outside
yes.
the city. It's
but I guess what I'm trying to say is we would be setting a very dangerous precedent for any lodging establishment outside of our city limits to come and ask us for funding because we gave it to you.
Yeah, I think in the future, if the farm becomes like a hub for Bikes, Blues, and and you start throwing more events, like with Hillberry, it's a different situation because you're throwing a 5-day festival where people have to come to Eureka Springs and not somewhere else to stay if they want to experience Hillberry. I think Bikes, Blues is harder because it's spread out throughout Northwest Arkansas. And I think, like David, I see what you're trying to do, and I think it could work, if there was a huge festival kind of associated with that people had to come to Eureka to experience.
Well, and perhaps now that this is new and that you've been made the official campground of this, maybe the metrics will show that it is worth the CAPC doing that investment, but this may not be the year. I don't know. Susan?
So kind of like what they said with Hillberry, people coming in and putting heads to beds in Eureka. And not because I live in Eureka, but my sister called, who does have a Harley and is part of the Stilettos, who are worldwide, has called me and said, can we stay at your house? And I said, no, but there's Wanderoo right down the road. I don't know these people. You can stay at my house. I will be in Iceland, so that won't work.
That's
Eureka really is known as a motorcycle place to go to enjoy nature, the curves in the road and the rides and everything. So I can't say that because they have a campground that we totally should rule it out when I know that people from around the country are already looking into it, even if it's a partial amount, just to see how it goes. Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue aside from the noise that we hear of from the people, they're going to come in. These are people that have money. They're, you know, doctors, lawyers, whoever, my sister, looking for just a place to go. And I don't know that everybody would camp. Obviously, she doesn't want to, or her friends, but I don't know that this is such a big known event to walk away from, too. I'm just saying.
Do we have a motion for anything? If not, we should just move on.
I mean, I've got-
We have a whole lot
I have one more
Okay.
question. So would this money go to Deadhead Productions or to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, the organization? Because I think that's some of the confusion I'm having,
That's a
too,
good
is
point.
that it's one thing maybe to give it to Bikes, Blues, and for them to advertise Eureka, and I think it's trickier from our perspective to give it to what on our application looks like a campground. I understand you're trying to do other things, but I guess would the money go to you guys or go to Bikes, Blues?
I mean, we do all of our own advertising. They don't do that for us. But, I mean, I'm sure we could talk to them and say, hey, there's an earmark here. You know, can we include an advertising that's targeting Eureka Springs to drive traffic? Because, again, at the end of the day, you know, I just feel like there's an opportunity to capitalize. We've got that brand, the official campground of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. You know, that was in Fayetteville. It's here now, and this is something that, you know, if we can bring more people in, we can start bringing more musical acts where we have the room to grow. You know, like, you know, end of the day, they have biker events all the time that have over 5,000 people at it, but we just haven't had the revenue or the funds to get there or have put much into advertising because we've really put it into the event itself. So, you know, I just felt like there's an opportunity there. You know, we've seen growth every single year, and I know that Eureka also has gone, like, they're not so which way they want to go with bikers sometimes. I know we were talking about the entertainment district, and that was, you know, and I know initially they were talking about really coming here heavy, you know, a couple years ago, and then that entertainment district piece kind of fell through. But I just think that I don't even know where that's at, but if that thing's happening, you know, that could even really help fuel people coming into the event.
So it bothers me, though, that they want 25% of your profit. That's a lot. For
And let me be clear, that's revenue.
revenue.
Yeah.
Sorry. Revenue.
Worse.
You could use some of that to promote here.
We could, you know, that's been what we've wrestled with. Do we get rid of that brand, okay, and then, you know, try to take that money back ourselves? However, I feel like that them putting that brand on us, you know, has really what's driven our growth. You know, they see that on all the marketing.
I'd say the biggest contributor is the fact that on the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue website, when you go and click camping for the event, it takes it directly to our ticketing page as the campground, and that's what we have to weigh on. How valuable is that to us?
And
is
I
it worth
know when they
25%?
come, they're going to want entertainment. They're going to want music and
Absolutely, and that's
food trucks,
yeah.
food out there.
So, you know, like I said, I really do see what you're doing and what that vision is. It's unfortunate that you're kind of wrangled into this agreement with Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. I would actually just like to make a suggestion that you carry on your campground as you're planning. Come back to us
Next year.
after the event so that we can gather data and have, you know, metrics that we can follow and maybe work towards something that we can do next year to make it that actual thing. Like I said, you would be the very first thing that we did with this commission of this magnitude, and I personally think that we would get into a lot of trouble. I don't know that.
Yeah.
It's just my suggestion. It's my guess.
That would be
With
my
our small
inclination as
budget.
well, is that with our tight budget and with citizens really scrutinizing sometimes how we allocate monies, that this just may be too
So can you guys do the campground this year and then see how it goes, if it's even worth hanging on to that stamp of approval or whatever it is, and then come to us right after, and maybe let's do some focus groups, workshops on what we may or may not be able to do for you guys next year in that realm.
And we'll be able to look at, CAPC collected tax, for example, from bars and restaurants and hotels in town, and be able to see, like, if having a campground at the farm during Bikes Blues actually drives traffic in town.
Yeah, I mean, we've been having roundtable discussions. We've had probably 8 of them with Mike included, and Mike's actually provided us the data on Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue and the tax revenue that
I have no doubt that Bikes Blues drives a lot of money, but I mean specifically having an official campground outside of town, just outside of town, if that being a new thing, if that would drive revenue. I know Bikes Blues does, but the question is, does having the official campground here?
It's our 5th year.
I appreciate you both, and I think in just being conscious of time and everybody that's here waiting for funding requests, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up some, and if we have a motion, we'll move forward, and if not, then thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Sorry, guys.
Okay, I think we're moving on to the next one. Thank you so much. Okay, so next we have Voices from the Silent City.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you for your time. I know these are rough. So I'm Jeff Danos from the Eureka Springs Historical Museum, and here for marketing support for Voices from Eureka's Silent City. Our dates this year are October 15th, 16th, 17th, 22nd, and 23rd. Our theme this year is actually, it's called Tales of Newtown. Newtown was actually a section of Eureka that was also known as South Eureka. It comprised a very early neighborhood up near Highway 62. So we're going to be covering some new characters this year that we've never talked about before. Some new bits of history that we haven't really worked on before. A lot of times it's the big names, that we talk about, but we're trying to find that, we're starting to find that there's 5,000 people buried in the cemetery, and they all have good stories to tell, even if they're not big household names. We are asking for 5,000 this year. So I was here last year, and there was some questions about legacy events, some discussions about that. One of the things that we were asked was if there was any way that we could put together some data, some metrics on the people that do come to Voices. Are they mostly locals? Are they from out of town? Are they staying in hotels? And we actually were able to do that. And so I did submit that information with our report last year. I believe you guys got a copy of it, but essentially what we found based on the survey was that we did have people from New York to California and everywhere in between, which is pretty neat. We estimate about 1,500 lodging nights. Last year we had 1,112 people. The reason why that's more than the people is because some of those people are staying for multiple nights. What we actually did was we asked people what their zip code was, and we asked them how many nights they were staying in Eureka Springs. So the information that we got based on the survey we did, we found that 14% of our attendees stayed for 1 night, 20% stayed for 2 nights, and 24% stayed for 3 nights or more. Let's see what else. Again, looking at the legacy event situation, I did call the office to see if anything had changed since last year. I did look at the application. I will say there seems to be a little bit of conflicting information on the application that maybe needs to be cleared up, because in thinking about legacy events and events such as ours, there's language in the guidelines that says that, for example, special events that result in increased lodging and events that foster local economic impact, those are the events that you guys want to fund. There's also a section that talks about that no single event should be funded for longer than 3 years, unless you guys decide that you want to do that. Then there's another section that says that programs, festivals, or special events with a history of attracting out-of-town visitors are preferred. So again, it's a little conflicting for us. That's why I called actually before I submitted the application, because I didn't want to waste your time if you had made a decision about legacy events. But based on what the guidelines say, it also says special consideration will be given to nonprofits. So that's why I'm here today, submitting our application again for marketing support from Voices.
I don't believe we made any decision on number of
We
years
have
or
not.
anything. Yeah.
We discussed it, but we,
I know there was a lot of discussion, and like I said, that's why I called before I submitted the application, because I was like, well, I don't want to do this.
I mean, that certainly is a big plus that, money goes back into the community in the form of a nonprofit.
Right, yeah.
I think with the legacy events, it's more to help us budget. Like if we know this event's going to be going on, it's a good idea for us to account for it as an expected line item in the marketing support.
Okay.
Jeff, a question for what's coming up. Are we going to see other applications or requests further down the road this year? Like the Jailbird event we had and the other event before?
I don't have any, I'm not anticipating additional CAPC requests this year for events. Yeah, I mean, in fact, we have an event coming up on the 6th, and I didn't ask for any money for that, so.
I'll make a motion to approve, put my answers on, sorry, the $5,000 for Voices from the Silent City.
Second.
David made a motion to approve $5,000 for Voices from the Silent City. That was seconded by Colton. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Nay. Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you guys so much. And again, thank you for your time, because I know these meetings are tough.
Thank you for all the stats. That was really good.
Yeah,
That was
very good.
informative.
Honestly, it was something that I wish we had done a long time ago, because it was really neat to see everybody's zip codes and see where they were from, and we're going to do it again this year. So.
And even if they only went to, even though they went to the tour, they did other things here. They stayed somewhere.
Right, and like I said, and we kind of knew that going into this. I mean, we know people aren't just driving out for this event. They're staying in town, they're doing other things. But it was nice to actually have the data.
Yeah,
so.
thank you.
Well, and obviously, you said it was relatively easy to collect, so I think that's.
It wasn't too
a nice thing
bad,
for
yeah.
people
I mean, it's harder the night of when you've got a line of people. Obviously, the online data is a lot easier to collect, so we're really trying to get people to buy their tickets ahead of time. In fact, we're going to be launching our sales probably next month, which is early for us. We usually wait till September or so.
Good job.
So, thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Okay. Next up, Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls Nosers.
I'm Sharon Lawler, and I live in Holiday Island. I own the bed and breakfast Bridgeford House on Spring Street. And I've been thinking about inviting Gilmore Girls to come to Eureka Springs for about 2 years now. Looking at the fan sites that they have already, I look at places that they use the name, and then people go there and they were like, well, they didn't really have anything. We're going to have something, and we're going to bring in a whole new group of people that maybe are not familiar with Eureka yet. And the whole purpose of this is to bring people in who are going to go shopping, okay? We're talking women, we're talking mothers, grandmothers, daughters, and these people are fanatics about the Gilmore Girls program, okay? It was popular in the early 2000s, but people have watched it over and over and over again. People that come to the Bridgeford House, I mention it, and they're like, oh my gosh, we've got to come to that. We've got to tell our friends about it. We're going to have some, we're taking the whole weekend as our focus, and we're not going to be promoting just one event. We're promoting events that are all tied to episodes in the first season of Gilmore Girls. So we have a dance marathon, we have a DART, and we're going to have planning for weddings in the park. But we're also on our website going to be promoting the other events that are happening that weekend. I know that I've talked to some people that their husbands love Gilmore Girls, so we're going to really be pushing the classic car parade because they're going to love that. In with one of the Gilmore Girls episodes, they have a reenactment of something that happened in the history of the town, and we've got the reenactment of the bank robbery. So all of these things are going to be so exciting for women that and men that love Gilmore Girls. And so I think that when I did the application, there are things like the lodging nights. I have 250. No, that it's going to be way more than that. How many people are we expecting? We're putting out, we put a cap on our tickets at 3,000. Is that out of range? Well, if many of you have probably heard about what happened with Yellow Frisbee Bakery out in Holiday Island. She put a little thing on Facebook that she was going to do a one-day Gilmore Girls event in Holiday Island, which nobody had ever heard of, and at the bakery, Yellow Frisbee Bakery. She had 1,000 people show up for that one little thing, and we're going to be doing a lot of advertising. We've already been accepted by 3 of the fan sites for us to be able to post things there. Our website is up where we don't have all the tabs on it for all the different events. We do also already have the Eventbrite account set up for selling tickets for registrations, as well as tickets for the dance marathon and the DART. And I think we have weddings on there too. The money from the dance marathon is going to go to the Rotary Wheelchair Project, and money from the DART is going to go to the Daughters of the American Revolution for their programs. And now I'm the regent for the DAR chapter here in Eureka Springs. This is actually our 75th anniversary. The chapter was started by John Cross's mother and aunt and a few other ladies. And so this is all really a real Eureka Springs thing. It's also our district's 75th anniversary, so the DART will be celebrating all of those things. But we're really, really excited about what's happening. I wasn't sure how to start, and Lacey Moffett was the one that said, here's how you do this. And I really appreciate her help. And Amanda, who had the bakery, is also going to be assisting me with some of the things that we need to do. We're going to need a lot of help, but I'm really, really, really excited about this because Gilmore Girls is small town. And Eureka, they do have a festival up in Connecticut, which is very expensive to get to. They also have a festival in Los Angeles where you can go to the studio, and that's really expensive. We have a lot of people that are just going to flock to Eureka Springs for Gilmore Girls, and I'm really, really excited about it. Be happy to answer any questions, I think, that you might have.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
We always, sorry.
Go ahead, Robert.
We always are excited about new events. Something happens like that. It doesn't happen every day, I guess. And we are curious about the outcome of this whole thing.
It's going to be
And
great.
in consideration of that, I make a motion to approve $2,500 for the Gilmore Girls in the Ozarks.
Second.
David made a motion to approve the $2,500 for Gilmore Girls in the Ozarks. David, second.
Robert.
I'm sorry, did I say, my brain is moving
For the weekend.
faster than my mouth. Okay. Robert made a motion to approve the $2,500 for Gilmore Girls in the Ozarks, and David seconded that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Granddaughter will be excited.
Thank you. Thank you.
Approved.
Oh, my God. It's a TV show.
As a mother of girls. Yeah.
So, I don't know if they
I don't
had,
even know who they are.
I don't know if they had
show's
funding
been-
last year, but they had
the show's been
13,000
off the
people
air.
respond to their Facebook event.
Wow, okay.
They don't make any news.
This is
of
like
it, and my granddaughter.
serious stuff for young ladies.
From last year.
I mean, it falls together with the Anti-Car Show.
Good Shepherd.
Okay, Good Shepherd, dinner and a musical.
I just wanted to add for the Gilmore, just make sure you piggy up with the chamber for the car show.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Gene Flake, and I have, over the past year and a half, done, well, this will be my third event that I do. I just want to say that being at the town that we are, what I like is that what we support in this town. And the shows that I've done over the past year, we wanted to prove something. And what we've proved is that not only does it benefit our charities, our nonprofits, but also it draws people in, because based on your advice, we started doing research on what people were coming, what percentage we were getting. The last one we did was not for Good Shepherd, but it's still something that I did, but we brought in 43% of our audience from over an hour away from Eureka Springs. We've also, over the past year, raised over $20,000, and every penny of it has gone to either Good Shepherd or another nonprofit, and the last one was the case of the Purple Flower. So I'm proud of it. This next event is going to be even bigger because we have more space and we're able to bring in more people to the next event we have. I'm proud of what we do. I just ask for your help.
Thank you.
Have you chosen a nonprofit for this next event?
Good Shepherd.
Good Shepherd.
Good Shepherd, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. And what we're doing is another musical. It's a musical called The Apple Tree, which is the Diary of Adam and Eve by Mark Twain, set to a musical. And what we will be doing is we had originally planned to do dinner. The facility we're going to use, it doesn't really lend itself to it, so we're doing gourmet hors d'oeuvres from different caterers, such as Three Bird Cafe, Marmadilles, hopefully Colossal Cakes, and Simply Red Kitchen. So we're promoting businesses, we're raising money, and it's been a very successful model so far, and it speaks to me about what we stand for.
You know, as a pet owner of 6, we always have a soft heart for Good Shepherd. So, and I like that you're not going to ask for a number which is out of our reach. I think you're actually the first one who doesn't have a even number requested.
I like the exact number.
And I'm going to make a motion to approve $2,423.
Second.
Okay, that all got really confusing, but I heard that that $2,423 has been, a motion has been made by Robert Schmidt to approve that amount, seconded by Susan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. $2,400.
Bless you, and come see the show. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Jean. Okay. Harvest?
No.
No?
Is it Harvest or Jeeps?
I have Harvest next in my folder.
Harvest, yeah.
Okay. Harvest it is.
Harvest which festival?
Correct.
Hello?
Danielle, we're also doing the Pride.
Yep, I've got it coupled together.
I'm Paige. I own LaGrange's downtown, and Hannah and I last year took over what was Witch's Escape for a few years, and they had stopped doing it, so we decided to put on our own for Harvest Witch Festival. Hannah has the stats on how many we brought to town last year. This is a fully free event for anybody that wants to participate. We don't do sponsors. We get the shops involved for free. We advertise them. We do free vending in the park. Everything is to do with the community so that everybody that's involved in the community can do things for free, get advertisement for free, have people come into their shops at no cost to them. We actually do our own money to do the event, most of the time. Like, I think 90% of it last year was just our own money going into the community. But if you want to do the stats on it.
Oh, yeah. So since this isn't a ticketed event, we don't have concrete amounts of people that were here. We did have 650 people that were interested in our event, and a lot more came than that. I know a lot of people were expecting Witches Escape, and a lot of people, once they heard witches were back in town, they started coming and flocking to the town. I know in Economic Impact, we did over $500,000 that weekend, but other things were also going on. So we're just asking for the $1,500 just to cover the banner, the like local advertisement and the paper flyers and shop hop cards.
And I'm sorry if I misunderstood, but what does one do at the Harvest Witch Festival?
So we have a ton of the shops put on events. We do different things that they can come. We have a costume contest. We have cackling contest. We do drag in the park. We have different vendors that come and set up in the park that do everything from crafts to tarot readings to everything in between with that. Art, mostly local. People not come to visit, but our vendors. We try to support the local vendors and have them in the park for people to support with them. We did a parade of witches. We'll have dancing in the park this year as well for the witch dance.
Oh, potion scavenger hunt.
Yeah, we did a potion scavenger hunt. It's an all throughout town event.
Okay, I was just kind of curious what you got to
yeah.
do when you were witchy.
Yeah.
Susan?
So Paige had this event. I know you hosted it 4 years ago.
2 years ago, just at my shop.
It was just 2?
Yeah, it was just 2 years ago at my shop, and it was overran, and we couldn't even keep up with it. So last year we decided to
And
make
I
it
went
a
to
little bigger.
it, and it was, I dressed up as a witch, a good witch, and it was a lot of fun.
I was going to say it's my regular costume.
Watch, I'll put a spell on you. But no, it was a lot of fun, and I was amazed at how many people came out. I saw some locals I knew, and there were people that came in from, I know I talked to 2 girls that came in from Springfield, and
We had a lot from St. Louis as well, a lot of my friends from St. Louis.
Yes, and we had a lot from Springfield and Fayetteville. I know we had a group of 30 women that came from Fayetteville that had just heard on Facebook about it, and so they all came.
David?
So I think this is your second year on your own, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So I think moving forward, because we're always going to ask you for numbers, like what did you bring into the city? And from what I gather, everything is free
Yes.
for the
Well,
participants.
everything's free to participate in our event.
And you have a budget here of $3,000?
Yeah, that just covers like we buy trophies for our winners, decorations, things like that that
The
aren't
potion
marketing.
bottles,
Yeah.
and we'll put them together and put little trinkets and gifts inside.
Yeah, we get donations from the shop.
And does this go to the local not-for-profit coven?
Our goal is mainly just to give back to the businesses and have an event that they don't have to pay to sponsor, that they don't have to pay to vend in, that artists that don't necessarily have the money to do the $250 vending things and can come in and just.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the things as you see here is we're really big about you giving money back to the community. So I think moving forward, we would absolutely like to see that, as well as demographics like some of the ones that you gave. Like, I see this growing. You know, will you have 50 people staying in a hotel? Will you have 100? Is it just a day tripper kind of thing? So those are some things to keep in mind if you plan on continuing to do this.
Yes, Susan.
Oh, go ahead, Robert.
Well, I wanted to point out that just make sure that you read our requirements for refunds properly on our guideline, that we cannot pay anything like for gifts, for example, or for anything like that, or, you know, it has to be advertising, and it's not like a printed back, maybe it's really like an hour away. 50% of the advertising has to be for over an hour away driving radius.
Yeah,
So
most
just
of
make
our
sure.
advertisement would be through Facebook marketing, and then to go for the flyers and the banner and things like that.
And I mean, I understand this happens at the same time with the War Eagle fall fair, and it's probably difficult to measure really what is your impact and what is the War Eagle impact. But I remember seeing the witches last year. It was cool.
Oh,
My shop participated in it, and we had a lot of people come in looking for the thing. I don't remember what it was, like a jar. So I know that those people were at least there participating in just anecdotally, we had a lot of people also come in with witch hats who were not looking for anything.
So guys, I did want to bring up, and this is unfortunate, with our new state laws, you had mentioned drag in the park. We legally can't fund anything that will have drag in the park where kids could be present.
Okay, could we do drag on private beer patio enclosed?
As long as, I don't know if we can fund that.
businesses.
Like an individual business,
Do
not.
you mean like marketing, like their ads
Not in
can't
the
go
park.
towards
Yeah,
that?
the new Arkansas state law says that they say to protect period interests cannot be held on government-owned property and funded with taxpayer dollars, in part or full. So that would be the one thing. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe get with your attorney, have them talk to Mike and our attorney. But I know that's really big, and we could all get in a lot of trouble as well as you.
Yeah.
As long as they focus that it is the witches, it's the Harvest Witch Festival. It's
I mean, if you have a bunch of people dressed as witches,
It's not branding.
that's different than a drag show in the park where kids are
Correct.
present.
Right.
Yeah, so like a specific ad for that would be
Correct.
riskier for us than just
Yeah.
an ad
Right.
for the
I mean, we could do like, yeah, it could be a witch dance in the park. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not asking a witch about the gender, right?
I'm sorry, what?
No.
We're not asking witches about their gender.
Better not.
That's not our problem.
Go ahead, Susan.
So, but what they're using the funds for are flyers, banners, social media, not for funding the drag show or funding the other stuff.
I think what
The
David's
state law says
Is you would need to just
we
say-
can't fund anything knowing that that's what they're going to do, even though our monies are just for advertising. Tax
Well,
dollars
even-
can't go to a drag show.
Even if we approve any amount, like we still have to see the invoices, and Mike will have the final say which one falls under our regulations and which not. That's why I'm saying, like, make sure that you know where the money goes, and you might get a little excursus with Mike to see that what is the right proper allocation.
And we're not, I mean, it doesn't have to be drag in the park. We can have a private establishment do it. It's not, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be a big thing.
We can
do
help
dance.
guide. We can help guide with that.
Okay.
Well, and again, the rule is just that we don't reimburse if there's a very specific, if there's
Yeah.
a specific ad.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Make a motion to approve the $1,500 for the Harvest Witch Festival.
Second.
Colton made a motion to approve $1,500 for the Harvest Witch Festival. Susan seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all might as well stay there.
I thought you said a couple more. Okay, yes.
You're next.
I'm next.
Eureka Springs Pride.
Okay, so Eureka Springs Pride, we had, there we go. So we had roughly 17.5 thousand visitors, all ranging from out of town.
I have the
Yes.
stats. Our number 1 was Springfield, Missouri, and then 2 was Fort Smith, 3 Tulsa, Oklahoma, 4 Little Rock, 5 Oklahoma City, then Kansas City, then Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Joplin. So all from definitely perspectives of staying. in
How did you
hotels.
guys collect that data?
That came from the Mayor Task Force. I obtained these numbers from the Eureka Springs Mayor's Task Force on Economic Development Personnel and via our Madden Media data.
So is that people who traveled here or people who saw the ads that were
That was the people that were staying in hotels.
staying in hotels? Okay.
And then we had roughly $4.5 million in economic impact. And we're asking for the whole 5,000, if you can, for Facebook targeted ads for those individuals who stayed at the hotels those nights. So like in Springfield and Oklahoma City and Tulsa and Fayetteville, and bringing them in because it is a 4-day event. And so people will stay usually around the whole week. A lot of people like to come in a little bit early for that, and events go from 8 a.m. all the way until 2 a.m. So people are staying all those nights. And then we do event flyers, drop pop cards, and the Spring Street banner as well.
So since Pride is in about 2.5 weeks, is this like retroactively
Yeah, we've
reimbursing?
already had the contract signed with marketing, that we've done a $3,000 contract with Facebook marketing that's already been in motion. We've already ordered the banner.
Okay, so this would be to reimburse things.
Mhm.
I was just making sure you weren't planning on spending $5,000 in the
No.
next few weeks.
No.
And the nonprofit for Pride?
We are not a nonprofit yet, but what we do is we don't make a profit either. So everything we have goes back into next year's event. We do the entertainers. Last year we sold out the Odd twice. So that was really good for the economic in this. But we do work with nonprofits. We give them free space in our events so that they can set up. We've worked with Good Shepherd, the United Methodist Church.
Diversity Health Clinic.
Diversity Health Clinic.
We also...
Boston Mountain Health Clinic, and then the Woods and Hollow Farming School, which is a nonprofit. We give them all spaces here so that they can, for free, we would just work with them
And then we advertise them as well and make sure that they get seen.
So far, we've made no profit on Pride. It just goes back into the next year first.
I guess my only concern, and I'll put it out there, is that the majority of people who come to us for funding are organizations or nonprofits. And from what I'm hearing, y'all have not yet established a nonprofit.
No. Is it required to be a nonprofit to be approved?
It's not required, but it's definitely something that we like to see, some kind of structure.
Is it, I guess maybe is it like an LLC, or what's the organization that would be receiving the check?
Eureka Springs Pride is an LLC.
Okay, so it's an LLC. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't have an issue with for-profit stuff. I run a few for-profit things. I know that they typically make less money than nonprofits even sometimes. At least the organized. I don't, like, for example, with On-Call, like, I don't pay myself anything for that. It just sits in the account until next year, and I use it for...
We have a board of 13 members. None of us have been paid. We just use it for next year's events to grow in the town, and it's grown steadily every year.
I do think we do have a note on our, I mean, it's clear from our funding sheet that it's a good, I think a good investment for us, but it does look like maybe you should double check some of the numbers for the impact. Looks like maybe some of the stuff on the sheet that I have is different from, I think, what was stated maybe, or like last year's numbers were off.
Sandy did an assessment of the numbers citywide. And so they are going off what they were given by
Okay.
the city economic impact.
I see. Okay. In either case, I mean, it's a clear positive impact and a good.
Correct.
Yeah.
And are we okay on the date?
June
The
11th.
time frame? Sorry. The time frame? It was submitted on time? Okay.
It was, yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. And I know this was brought up before. I'm not quite sure how Mike handled it. The same thing with the drag shows at the Odd. Where do we stand on that? I know that legal was with that.
We double checked, and as long as we put, what is it, age 18 or above, or adult show.
So no children?
We can't say no children. We have to say show age 18 or above. If they choose to bring their children, because there was one last year, and I did point it out, but the parent was there and they approved. And so it is what it is. But we advertise age 18 and above, and we're good. And I checked with city as well. So, yeah, we're good.
A little question real quick. Maybe Danielle, you know that. since this event is coming very soon, and we're talking about it right now, I mean, did we already supply them with our logo? Is that implemented in your advertising already?
Yes.
Yes.
You're not waiting for us
Yeah,
to?
it's already on all the flyers and social media ads.
Yeah, anything that can go out is ready for CAPC.
That's already in there, okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Is it possible, because I don't want to deny the request personally, but I do want to, I don't recall a state attorney ever giving their opinion on this. When I look at the law, and the law specifically states anything about children, if we allow that, even if the parent says it's okay, it's not my kid, that doesn't work with the law. If somebody else is offended that the child is there, we are held liable. Because it's a government-owned property.
So this year is not going to be the issue. We have already put in, there's a comedian that is coming as the headliner for this event, what is it, Bianca Del Rio, correct? And
Which is a drag performer.
is a drag comedian, and the disclaimer is on all of the ads that it is for age 18 and up, adults show, and so we have done what we legally are bound to do,
Okay.
and so that's all we can do right now. When we ran across this last year, we did ask the city, our cohorts over there, and asked for what the boundaries were because it was newer at the time, and we did what we were supposed to do. And so,
As long as we're covered and we're doing what we're supposed to do, that's fine, because I want them protected and I want us protected. That's my only thing, because
I promise you,
it takes
I am
one nutcase to get in there
very
and say,
sensitive to it.
okay.
I promise. Because I was ready to remove the child and offer babysitting care.
I motion that we approve the $5,000 for the Eureka Springs Pride.
Second.
Susan made a motion to approve $5,000 to Eureka Springs Pride, seconded by Colton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, well, it's approved. You've made a quorum.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
Jeeps.
Jeep, jeep.
Jeep, jeep.
I got the cue now, so we're up. My name is Dave Tigan from the Eureka Springs Rotary Club, for those of you who do not know me. I'm a newbie on the street as far as the Jeep Jam is concerned. Lacey Moffett has decided to stand down and came to our Rotary Club with a request that we take over the proceeds, the running of the Jeep Jam. This is the 6th year that we'll be here. I'm sure each and every one of you are aware of the economic impact for Eureka Springs. We averaged, I think there were 385 Jeeps that came in last year. We're anticipating about 350 to 500 Jeeps that will be here this year. 1,500 room nights will probably be for the 4-day event from September 10th through September 13th. We're requesting $5,000 to assist us in our advertising efforts. Last year, I believe the numbers show, and I have to apologize, we haven't gotten all the analytics handed down to us yet to give you concrete numbers. It is my understanding that we had Jeeps appear from 5 separate states last year. And I was just speaking with Candace Spalding, who works on a lot of the advertising for us. We are actually reaching out to Jeep clubs as far as Arizona this year. We're finding that there is going to be more and more competition for this. It's not just like the year that Rotary decided to do a catfish fry as a fundraiser, and various other organizations did the catfish fries after that, and Rotary is no longer doing that because we're not getting the draw. There is also a Jeep Jam going on in Branson that we are, I want to say, we're happy that they're doing it because it's promoting Jeeps, but we're a little concerned because of the draw away from Eureka Springs to the Branson area. So we're reaching out, our advertising substantially further than we have this past year. As a matter of fact, we haven't, for some reason, Jeepers love rubber ducks. And with that said, we've come up with an idea, and we've had one of our Rotarians personally is going to donate a $1,000 cash prize for a scavenger hunt. So we're trying to come up with new ideas, make this work. The winner of the scavenger hunt is going to get a 5-foot-tall blow-up rubber duck that will be suitable for mounting on top of their Jeep when they go through the parade this year. So that's just one idea that we're doing.
make
the
sure
rubber duck is in my office as we speak.
Secured well.
Anyway, with that being said, we have 3 nonprofits that will be benefiting from this. Eureka Springs Rotary Club, I think all of you are aware of what we do with our scholarship programs, our food for children, putting shoes on kids' feet, and actually we've expanded that to their parents if they need that as well for every school year that we do. Peterson's Outdoor Ministries has been elected again this year to go for them. They are a nonprofit located out of Cassville, Missouri, realizing that is out of state, but they support a veterans center that is second to none as far as I'm concerned in the United States. They work through outdoor activities, PTSD, veterans that have suffered from that working there. Passion Play is another nonprofit that will be receiving benefits from this. We also, because the police are very generous in assisting us, for every Jeep that is in the parade, the ESPD will also receive $5 for every Jeep that is entered into the parades. We have various, well, obviously the Jeep show, be a 4-day event. It's not just a standard car show that we have going on. There's trail rides that happen. We have a bingo game. Cards are distributed through all of the downtown merchants to attract traffic to go down through there. Obviously with a scavenger hunt for the 5-foot rubber ducky. They'll be scattered all through the city. It's hubbed at the Passion Play as far as general. I don't know that I can add anything to that other than the history of what we have seen so far here. Its operating cost to start with is about $10,000 for us to do this. This is a $0 profit event, meaning that the net off of anything that is raised comes back to Eureka Springs Rotary, Peterson Outdoor Ministry, as well as the Passion Play.
Do you know when, oh, sorry. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, sorry this is your first time to come up with a Jeep Jam, because what I'm about to say is not very pleasant, but I want to bring it up, and I think the commission needs to know about it, is that, you know, you're asking us to spend taxpayer dollars to fund this event in partiality. And consistently over the years, there's been an increase of political flags displayed on Jeeps. And I received a request from a Jeep club wanting to know why that was so. And I said, I have nothing to do with this. Please reach out to the organizers. She did, and she sent me a screenshot of the response. Was it, we really don't care about this, what's flown on the back of your Jeep. So I want to bring that up only because I think that, I don't think it's the place, I don't think a Jeep Jam is a place to display your political wares or whatever. It should just be a fun event for everybody. Absolutely. And if we're spending tax dollars.
So we definitely could put a disclaimer, because we send out emails, we give them flyers like on the parades of what's allowed, what's not allowed, because this is a Christian event. We want everybody to have fun. It's kid friendly, so we don't promote those things.
Oh, I didn't know it was
I have a
Christian
question
event.
about the Christian event because I'm the spouse of a military veteran, and so I'm grateful for all these services. But then at the same time, if the recipients of monies and things are the Passion Play and a Christian organization for veterans, is it all inclusive? Because it is part of what I believe we're supposed to be funding is things that support all.
We do support all, but we just want to make sure that it's family friendly and it's welcoming everybody. But on those political things, I mean, we're under the Rotary Club now and it's changed hands a little bit. So you won't be receiving things where you can take screenshots of, they don't care, because we do. We're going to put our heart and soul.
Well, I guess, so who is monitoring your Facebook page now?
I do that.
So is it safe to say that you did not
No.
send this message to her?
No. So I will be doing the advertising. Kent will be doing some of the Facebook stuff. So there'll be multiple hands-on.
Mhm.
But I've never seen a message like that on Facebook.
Okay, I'd be
But-
willing, you're more than welcome to
No,
look at it.
I believe you. I believe you 1,000%.
You should look at it, actually.
Yeah.
And those are the questions that I wanted to bring up. There's no doubt in my mind at all what Jeep Jam does for the city. However, I also want to make sure that when you say family friendly, it is truly family friendly for every family, not just a Christian family
Right.
or a family that leans one way or another on the political spectrum.
Right. Okay.
One.
Enough.
So I get the new leadership in this event. I remember we had a discussion about your beneficiary of the pursuit of the profits. It's an out-of-state monastery, and we discussed this last year that we think that is not really what we want to support. We would rather see something which is maybe in-state, nearby. That's one thing. I remember last year or the years before that you were charging an admission for the people in the show. It was like $75, and now I see like none. Did that go away, or is that just do I misunderstand that?
That is probably a misunderstanding because there is still a fee for the people that are participating in the Jeep Jam. I think when we looked at this, we anticipated like a general admission fee to attend some of the Jeep facilities.
To watch the parade.
Programs that are going, right. So
Yeah.
there will be no fees on that. There is a fee. It's a little over $80 for the Jeep that want to attend in this. And then there's also additional capital charge for the trail rides and for the bingo and all the stuff like that.
And I'm assuming McLarty Daniel is a big supporter as well.
McLarty Daniels is a large supporter of this, absolutely. We also, Island Airco will be a large supporter of this. My personal business will be a large supporter of this as well, and go forward from there. I would like to comment back,
Yes,
David,
sir.
with you. There is we call it the four-way test in Rotary. And we all live by that, and we are a division of Rotary International. And the four-way test says, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? And we do everything that we can, I do in my personal life, my business life, and our Rotary Club life to meet all of those things that we have going on. With that being said, I can assure you 1,000% that you will have my backing to make this equal to everybody that comes in. I personally do not think anything should be set up on a political persuasion on a public event like this in any way, shape, or form to do it.
I really appreciate you saying that.
And Rotary Club is here. All of the proceeds that comes back to the Rotary Club and all the sponsorships without the McLarty Daniel, that goes toward hard cost. That we raise for through our club will stay here. We're anticipating somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 is our goal to raise to stay immediately and to help our club benefit this community.
I remember last year, like your profit was about $90,000 from the Jeep Jam, and the thing is, I said it in the beginning of our meeting tonight. Our money is kind of tight. We kind of have to sort it out and make sure that we don't overdo ourselves, and we still keep money for for other events. And so your event is a big event for the town, don't get me wrong. We love to have the Jeeps in town, and I think when you say 350 Jeeps, I think you're underestimating your number.
I'd rather underestimate than overestimate.
It's probably, I mean, I remember last year there were 650 easily, and the year before we had or 2 years ago, we had the huge congestion with 786 Jeeps in the parade. I guess everybody remembers that part. So this is a big event. But the question is for me, like, I look at it as a cashier of the CAPC. I'm not taking your job away, but we kind of have to make sure that we try to get the most out of our money, you know. So my question is, would you consider a lower amount if we approve a lower amount?
Well, I guess to coin the phrase, we will throw ourselves on the mercy of the court.
Well, I mean, I guess I kind of see where you're coming from with actually any promoter of an event. You've gotten so big now, do you need our money?
It's a $0 profit, so we do not carry anything over from year to year. Every dime that is raised back off the net off of that goes out somewhere. So we don't have a bank that we deal with or get started with. This is especially new to Rotary this year, obviously, with Lacey standing down. She still has all the numbers in the past.
Okay.
I think we're a little unique in the fact that we don't carry roll. We do not have any carryover funding whatsoever. It's a scratch deal every time we start this.
You know, so my concern, sorry if I jump in here. I remember last year, you know, we looked at that ministry, and I mean, like, we see veterans with hunting rifles and camouflage clothing and everything on that website, and it's kind of controversial to what we like to see that the money goes for. I mean, it's something just not in the way we felt comfortable. We talked about that last year. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Susan.
So I'm new to the CAPC, but a couple things. They are under new ownership, and I do appreciate what you've said to David too, because there were some very outspoken people that, regardless of what your political platform is, we try to be bipartisan and we try to support that going out and being represented by such. Second thing is, you are very well established, and so like David asked the question, do you really need the money? However, I do like, what you changed my mind is that you do not carry money over, and that you start out with a zero amount again. So the more you make, the more you give back, and
Absolutely.
I do like that.
I think also, you know, the fact that they're starting a new organization has taken over. Marketing helps a lot with that. I remember when I took over Zombie Crawl, it helped having the marketing funds because I didn't have the connections, you know, that had already been made from the previous organizer. And I think too that you know, just because it makes a big profit or brings a lot of people in or is a big event, it can always be bigger. I think we could say the same thing about the CAPC. Eureka Springs has been around for 140 years. Do we really need to collect tax money to promote ourselves? The answer is yes, because other people are promoting themselves. And so for Jeep Jam to compete with Branson Jeep Jam, to compete with other Jeep Jams, compete with other events that are happening in September, is it in September? Is that right?
Yes, 9/10 through 9/13.
Yeah, in September, I think, I mean, marketing is always good, and surely this
It's
commission
after
knows
Labor
that.
Day, yeah. It's the weekend after Labor Day, yeah.
Okay. Because I would like to say something, because not only does it go to Peterson Outdoors, they help share it with our local unit here, which is Recon 6, which stays in this county, and we contribute to local veterans and families in this county. It just doesn't all go to Missouri. It also comes here. They share it with us, and last year we've helped many families out of the VFW post in Berryville. They can come in, they grab stuff, shoes. We got a table right now on our post that are collecting toys and everything for Peterson Outdoor and Recon 6. So it doesn't all just go out of state.
I think this is the first time we've ever heard Recon 6.
I agree.
That's the first time I've ever heard of it, so
Okay, that's our
thank you.
our local veterans group.
Yeah, thank you.
That works.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really important point, yeah. And I would encourage even, the point, since you're a very profitable organization and you disperse all your funds at the end of the event, if you would consider something around here, I'll just say, why would you not give some money maybe to the Good Shepherd? Or even our local museum would be very happy because that's a nonprofit as well. Like a part of it, I'm not saying that you have to move your charitable part of it completely, but could you find something maybe more local? That would be something I would really like to see.
Actually, that's a very good point. Number one, the Eureka Springs Rotary Club will receive, like I said, our goal for what we're working towards, $25,000 to $30,000 is our goal. All of that money does stay immediately right here in Carroll County. Eureka Springs Rotary just established at the community center a program for children's literacy through Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. We just put all of the stanchions up. There'll actually be a new book every month, put on the 12 stanchions, one page on each one, in English as well as in Spanish. We have 3 sustaining scholarships that Rotary puts together for Eureka Springs high school graduates. One is a 4-year scholarship and 2 2-year scholarships for VOTEC purposes. We do approximately 500 pairs of shoes. So all of that money for Rotary will stay immediately right here. I will say this too, when the Jeep Jam was originally conceived, Peterson's Outdoors Ministry was the original beneficiary with that. And through the years, it has just rolled to that. There is nothing cast in concrete that stipulates that Peterson Outdoor Ministries will be the largest beneficiary of the Jeep Jam. Because of the effect that they have, I didn't have the honor of serving, but because of the veterans, and I have many insureds that are vets, and I see a lot of trauma that is still developed from that. That is a ministry that is very near and dear to me. I have supported them financially for 5 years that we've had the Jeep Jam here. But I want to assure you that there's nothing cast in concrete that Peterson's Outdoor Ministries will be the primary beneficiary off of this.
Would you be willing to disclose at some point where the money actually will be dispersed? I mean, I can see, I can see the Rotary. You do a lot of things, good things, and we know that stays local. We can see that. We don't see. We just learned that, okay, veterans are supported from that ministry in Carroll County. We didn't know that, to be honest. We heard it the first time. So would you be able or willing to disclose in the future where the money actually was dispersed to?
Yes, 100%. I have absolutely no problem with that. Full disclosure is the key in anything that we do through Rotary, so we can see exactly where it goes. That's the only way that you can build goodwill and better friendships. And again, it comes with a 4-way test. The beneficial to all concerned, that is a primary factor that we have through Rotary. And again, in lieu of time, I know that we have a lot of questions. I want to be totally considerate of y'all's time. Whatever you would decide to promote toward us, we would be very grateful for. We are asking for $5,000, please.
Susan, did you have a question? No. Thank you so much.
So I tried to lowball you. I make a motion to approve $3,500 for this application.
I'll second
We just
that.
tried to save some money. Sorry about that.
I totally understand budgets, believe me.
Robert made a motion to approve $3,500 to Jeep Jam, and David seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your
Better,
consideration.
better than zero, guys.
Motion
So hang in
carries.
there.
$3,500 to Jeep Jam.
We will have more analytics next year for you, I assure you that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Dave.
very much. Thank you for your understanding.
Okay.
Is there a representative for Opera in the Ozarks? Opera in the Ozarks. I don't know.
Okay,
So move on.
onward and upward. Veterans
Yep.
Parade. And I'm betting we get to see you again.
That's right.
Welcome back.
It's a zombie.
Mr. Tom.
Good evening, my friends. I'm with the American Legion Post here in Eureka Springs. This year will be 107 of an active post in Eureka Springs. And we work for veterans in the area. And the parade last year, I asked, first time, this is my second time, I learned an awful lot more about how to present this. I would like to push out for at least 3 to 4 weeks before, more social media and different other avenues and different ads in areas to bring people in. I'm sad to report our Grand Marshal last year, who was a Second World War III war veteran, has passed away. The Gold Star woman is still with us at 99 that we had. We've been doing this a while and hardly asked for any money. We've been having veterans come up and just do it. But we're trying to make it larger and bigger. During the parade, after the parade, I walked down in uniform, talked to people, and most of them said they enjoyed it. I have already one high school band committed. I have another high school band that really wants to do it. They got a first check. I have a possibility of bagpipers. We're going to have floats again, and different veterans. We're going to work on another Grand Marshal. So I'm trying to make this bigger. And just to shift over, we're going to ask for donations again for our Recon 6. He's an American Legion. He is called in the middle of the night for suicide prevention. And he will stay with them and talk to them. So all I have to say is the Jeep Jam has been very good to us too, and here locally too. So I don't know much more I can say, but I got to realize I learned something. I need a better presentation than just to come up and say, I'm going to advertise. But any questions?
Well, I noticed like last year, yeah, you applied for $1,500. You didn't use all the funds. And I hear that you're planning to get bigger. You did learn from last year. Remember,
yes,
you were kind of late with your application, if I remember right.
Yes.
And we kind of had to tell you that. And this is still, it's not it's an honorable event, but it's not a huge event for the city.
No, it's one
So
day.
I actually would make a motion to approve the same amount like we did last year, the $1,500.
The requested amount, correct? Okay. That's what they requested, was 15?
2,500. The request is for 2,500.
Last year,
but
they were 1,500.
Last year was 15.
Last year was 1,500. Yeah, this year's 2,500.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, when we commit an amount, we kind of have to put it aside.
Okay.
And if we see that the amount is not used, it's missed in another corner. So that's why we kind of have to be conservative. I hope you understand.
Oh, yeah.
David?
I have a question for you. Is there a reason from the 1,500 to the 2,500?
The reason was I wanted to, we did 2 weeks, and it was kind of my first time doing this for advertisement. And I tried to double it. I want to do 4 weeks ahead of time, and I want to try to push it out wider, even up into Clarksville, and get with that paper up there and have them put more ads in. I was hoping to spread it out as much as I could, because now that we're getting more bands committing and that, it could make it a much more larger event.
Do you have anyone helping you with social media marketing?
I've had some people at the paper. There's a new member at our post right now who has 1 million on Facebook. So,
Because that's something that our office can help you with. Danielle right over there is like a queen when it comes to social media. So I guess the reason I'm asking that question, although I may not agree with what Robert motioned, I have to see it for its it's reality, and he's right.
Okay.
But we also we can make up that other 1,000 in help from our office to help you get to those hits on social media that you need.
Yeah, I barely have a phone, so.
Yeah, so with
Mr. Tom, we have a sample advertising guide that could give you some direction as well.
A lot of times with radio stations and that, they just give it to us for free because we're a veteran organization.
Right. That's true.
So you want to make the parade bigger and bolder, which I love parades and I love marching bands. Did you, in your comments, say that you have to pay a band, a high school band to come here?
No.
Okay.
We're not paying any high school bands.
Okay,
They're
good.
coming for the,
So it's just a
experience.
matter of getting it out to them to say, please, if you can, mark this day to come to Eureka.
I have one committed who will come for the parade, and I talked to another one because Memorial Day we do services, and then the American Legion Honor Guard, we went to the funeral homes and we talked to all the veterans there. Retirement homes. We did Eureka and Berryville, and we just tried to outreach, and I met another city, but he hasn't committed, but he really wants to. He's going to talk with the school and see if they can do it too.
So you were offered money last year that you did not use. Can you tell us why?
I was pushed out 2 years. It's my first year of trying to do this.
Okay, so you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Stumbled through. And
I also like to point out, I mean, it's a national event, technically, the Veterans Parade. It's not just a Eureka Springs event. So that's why I'm kind of conservative with my motion for $1,500.
I'll second Robert's motion.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, did you have a question, Colton?
Oh, I was gonna
Sorry.
say, I think that's actually an argument for advertising it. So if every place is having a Veterans Day parade, how do we get people in Eureka, right? Because they're all on the same day.
Yeah.
Right. So marketing is a good way to get people to come here instead of Berryville or instead of somewhere else, right?
Because I do see more on Berryville and the square
Yeah.
and everything, and so, yeah, making sure we can get that here.
Just a comment in general.
It's already seconded.
Yeah, it's seconded.
Oh,
David,
okay, so
And I'm
Robert,
still open for discussion, and I'll retract my
Yeah.
second if I need to. So,
well, that's up to you. So you need to know, are you leaving your motion in, or do you want to adjust?
I'm
that?
confused.
So no
Yeah, I think we are
no
too.
second to Robert's?
Let's,
I'll retract my second,
Okay.
just because I think more discussion is happening, and I don't want anybody to be silenced by that. So,
I think so. There was a question about so do you have someone helping you with social media? And I know. So are you doing all the social media on your side of things, or?
We had I have some this year I'm planning on doing on our side. Last year I was working with a person at the newspaper, and they were putting it out on their stuff.
I see.
And obviously stumbling through, I want to get more social, which I will talk to you. And I'm also putting in another request for a flyover. It's hard to get, but because it's veterans, and they sometimes will give us a military flyover. And we've been trying for 5 years now. We've been funding it ourselves for the last 3. We've been doing it for a lot longer, but we're trying to make it bigger. We were approved for a flyover last year, but no unit picked it up. We also had the Memorial Air, Arkansas Air was going to fly over for us. They had engine problems. So you know how it goes. You have these plans, and it just doesn't always work out. I think a flyover would be immensely for us. I only want 3 C-130s.
That's fantastic.
okay.
does anybody want to remake a motion?
I can retract my motion for the $1,500, and I renew it with $2,000.
I would second that.
Second.
Okay, Robert made a motion to approve $2,000 to the Veterans Day Parade, seconded by Colton. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. $2,000 approved.
Thank you, my friends.
Thank you, Mr.
Sorry,
Tom.
Robert.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to have Robert do my budget.
I know I'm the bad one. But we have.
Last but not least,
Okay, we have Zombie Crawl.
Yep, okay from my seat, I guess.
No, stand in front of it.
Stand at the podium.
Yeah, I mean, so I've received CAPC funding and submitted the reports each time, and each time it's clear. I think this is the point I was trying to make with Jeep Jam, that even with a large event, and sometimes especially with a large event, marketing funds can help a lot, because somebody goes to the page and they see, oh, this page has 20,000 followers, and it's got, last year this number of people said they were going to go to the event, and so sometimes big events can use the money, I think, as well or better than medium or smaller events, just because they build some confidence, I think, in the audience that they're advertising to. So requesting $5,000, and based off my sheet here, and I think Mike told me this the other day, that it generated around $70,000 in CAPC tax revenue last year for the Zombie Crawl, which seems like a good investment. And it would be used, I think I have it on the form that I submitted. The formula I've been using that seems to work for Zombie Crawl in particular is about half of that goes towards online ads, and about half of it goes toward the fun guide in the Eureka magazine. Typically, we do a one-page in both of those.
We're all just
Should we grill him? Should we ask him a bunch of questions?
Yeah, all the questions.
I mean, it's pretty cut.
Okay, so to be the same thing, huh? So we can assume that you already have $8,500 in your box, in
the account
from last year, right?
From last year.
So you have a good start for this year.
I do.
That's good.
And I'm trying to expand it. So one of the things I've talked to the Eureka Springs Theater Company about doing 2 plays in between the Thriller in the Park that's done between 12 and 2, and the Brain Buffet is at 4. So we're talking to them about doing 2 plays between 2 and 4 in Basin Park that'll be free as well.
Oh, are you going to do one for the film festival?
That was the last.
Oh, I wasn't here.
Zombie Crawl,
Sorry.
thank
Okay.
you.
This is for Zombie Crawl, yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion for $5,000 for Zombie Crawl.
Second?
Okay, David made a motion and Susan seconded for $5,000 to Zombie Crawl. All in favor, say aye. You might want to recuse your.
Aye.
And if I get a vote, aye.
Right.
Anybody
Danielle, just
opposed?
make a note that Colton abstained.
Abstained.
recused.
Recused
recused,
himself,
sorry.
correct.
And it is an LLC, but we do donate all the food cans, so it's a free parade.
Oh, yeah.
So you get
Yep.
cans of
Any
food.
opposed? Motion carries, $5,000 to the Zombie Crawl.
Thanks.
Okay. That was a lot of funding requests. We did it. Good job. Okay. So,
The next month will be August. And we
oh,
can
funding,
do it again.
funding requests.
Yes.
And again, for anybody who's watching or listening and wants to know, you do need to have those in 60 days out from your event. So just a reminder there. Let's do some commissioners' comments. Robert, you want to start us off?
Well, we still have audience here, and I don't know if the audience had anything to say. That we appreciate that you were staying here for almost 3 hours. Thank you very much. Of course, a big thank you to all the people who make this town livable and make all these events happen. And I appreciate that some might not were not able to get what they were hoping for, but we as a commission have to make sure that we spend the money the best way we can. And we kind of have to find a middle ground in some cases. Blues Festival is coming, everybody knows it, big weekend. And then we are already at the end of May and almost a little 1 month more, and we're already halfway through the year, and it feels like we're still in spring. So temperature could go up now.
No, it's good.
A little bit. The humidity can stay away. I agree.
It's exhausting to sit through 15 of these, but I think it was actually a good sign for Eureka that we have a mix of events that have been around a long time and events that have been around a couple of years and events that have never asked for funding before. That's a good sign that people are willing to invest their time and energy in putting on events, which I think drive most of the tourists to town. So I think that's all good.
Thank you. Susan?
I really don't have much other than what was already said. You know, we have the Blues Fest coming up, and we're going to have, it'll get busier as the year goes on, of course. Just hoping business picks up, that town fills up. I really hope some of our empty buildings fill up. And maybe some people clean their buildings. No, I'm gonna start on that. I'm looking up the ordinance, so City Council, get ready.
David.
Yeah, I just, Robert opened our meeting tonight with letting the public and organizations know that we did have a limited amount of funds to disperse. And I don't think anybody's ever actually come out and said that. We've all just kind of like, yeah, here's the money, take it, go with, So I applaud you for doing that, reeling us in. And with that being said, people will notice that we also asked some very different questions tonight than we normally ask. And I think it's because we are upheld to a standard of people want to know how their money, their tax dollars are being spent. So it's unfortunate that we do have to ask these questions, but we need to ask them in order to make sure that we're good stewards of this money.
Thank you. And again, this was a hefty one, so thank you everybody for coming out and being available, to Dr. Goldsmith and Matt, I think, who were remote and still managed to show up and do their part. I did hear lots of people talking about the wonderful foot traffic through Memorial Day weekend, that it was busy, town was busy, and it's good. Things are going well, and I hope that will continue coming up with Blues Weekend and Thunder on the Mountain. I also want to say a special thank you to Caitlin Jarrell for all of her hard work that she does to keep our website up to par and bringing in these great numbers, because that's such a big deal for all of us, for our businesses and for our community. So I'm just really grateful to her. And Danielle, thank you for playing tourism director this evening while Mike is out. And we'll all send well wishes to him and look forward to seeing him back in the saddle.
Agreed.
Thank you, everybody, for your fairness and for showing up and being great supporters of our community. I appreciate it. Anybody want to make a motion to
Motion
close?
to adjourn.
Second.
David made a motion to adjourn. Robert seconded very quickly. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Opposed?
Robert, Colton, and Shira, can I see y'all before?
Yes.
And
Thank you.